Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, it looks like the ice is just not melting um around my area. It is not. And you don't see a lot of people out other than, some of the doctors have to go to the hospital. So you see them creeping, but that ice is not going anywhere. You see them creeping, driving real slow or coming in late because they are essential, like the medical people. But a lot of doctors that have doctors' offices, they've been closed. But the emergency room doctors that live around here, they've had to go in. Um, it's cold out there too. And believe it or not, Target has not brought me my stuff. And I don't know, they said it's been 2 days. That's because that ice is just not subsiding at all. And it is really bad. It is so slippery. Like, I thought about walking to the store, but it's so much ice. It's ridiculous. Hey, Miss Clarinetta. Hey, Shan. Hey, Joy Loves God. So, y'all know I goes to bed early. I don't know what, like, it's this weather. I've been going to bed so early. I could be laying on the couch looking at TV. Next thing I know, I wake up because my dogs will start barking. Like, if they have to run out and use the restroom and come back in. And that's normally around 2 in the morning. And then I go right back to sleep. And then I'm up because my body is used to being up around. They wake up again to use the restroom, but which is a good thing because my body's used to being up around 6:30, getting ready for work. But of course, y'all know the courts and stuff have been closed down. Okay. Meaning when the courts are closed down, um, our office has been closed down also. Um, Too. Okay. Um, what I am going to do is I did bring my folders and stuff home, but I don't think any of my cases are due until next month, I believe, which is good. I think all of my cases are due next month. So, hey, this weather is something else. Not being able to get out. I don't know what I'm gonna do, y'all. Like, my puppies gotta have some dog food. I've been screaming about that for 2 days. Let's see. Hey, Chocolate Angel, the real boss. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing okay. We're gonna talk about Drake. No, I don't know why I be calling LilDurk Drake. I don't know why I be calling LilDurk Drake. Okay, and we're gonna talk about Yo Gotti. Okay, but how? Other than that, how is everybody doing? Chocolate, have you been able to get out? Like, have you had to get out? How was the weather? How's the ice and stuff looking in your area? I was looking at online last night before I fell off to sleep. Hey, Sasha. I was looking online last night before I fell off to sleep that they're saying the mayor is saying like some of those back roads or whatever, they're going to start trying to get some of that ice up so people can at least travel down some of the roads, back roads and stuff. So, I haven't even been seeing any children, like, because it's nothing but ice. Girl, no, I'm still stuck in. I was trying to get some ice out my drawer. Girl, I'm telling you, like, that ice is thick. It is real thick. It is. It's really thick. And the temperatures are gonna have to go up. That ice is so thick. I think the temperatures, in order for that ice to melt, I think the temperatures are gonna have to go up way like to like the 50s or something. and with the sun shining, because like at 28 degrees, and it's getting ready to snow again. Um, let's see. Okay, so it's supposed to be 43 today, but it looks like it's gonna sleet. It's gonna sleet today, and it's gonna sleet tomorrow, and it's gonna do the same thing next week. I just don't know with that ice being so thick. I don't know if the yes 5 to 6. I'm telling you, oh my god. See, looks like they're gonna have to court and stuff is going to have to be um virtual probably, but them judges don't play. They don't open up their courtrooms. I don't blame them. They don't have no issues with closing down their courtrooms. And hey, it ain't much that we could do. We sure cannot get out and go and look for witnesses and interview witnesses and do all serve whatever do all the things that we're supposed to do. In this house, we can't drive around. You know, people are not going to get out and come to the office. So I tell you. So I guess thank my Lord. I just don't see because it's so thick. And I mean it is not budging, period, because the temperatures are so low. I can't stay I got to have my dogs gotta have some food. I don't even want to put my damn boots on and walk to the store. And as a matter of fact, normally like I have not been seeing like anybody out. Normally they be out running and exercising. I have not been seeing that. I have not been seeing that. I've been exercising on my Wii game. I've been doing the Wii exercise, the Wii fitness. Hey, Edward Potts. Oh, it's been 7 minutes. Okay. So I want to talk about federal prosecutors claim LilDurk put 1 million bounty on Quando Rondo's head. And will Yo Gotti get away? Because we know Yo Gotti did the exact same thing with Young Dolph. Okay. Let's see, you guys. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Hold on one second. Ooh. I'm gonna have to turn my heat up because I turned it down last night. It is freezing cold. It is so cold outside. I got it on like 70 something. Hey, TT Licious. Let's see. Okay, it says federal prosecutors claim LilDurk put 1 million bounty on Quando. It says federal prosecutors claim jailed rapper LilDurk placed $1 million bounty on rapper Quando Rondo head following the shooting death of King Von in Atlanta. King Von, 26, was shot outside as an Atlanta hookah lounge on November 6, 2020. Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Tim pulled the trigger while King Von and Quando Rondo fought each other. The shooting was caught on the club surveillance camera. After the shooting, LilDurk's fans pleaded with him to slide for King Von, which is slang for getting revenge on Von's unalivers. Prosecutors spoke with a confidential informant who said Durk recruited Chicago gangbangers with a promise of $1 million if they carried out the hit on Quando Rondo. The hitmen flew from Chicago to Los Angeles, where they stalked Quando Rondo around the city. They eventually ambushed Quando Rondo and shot into his car at a gas station across from the Beverly Center. But they missed Quando and fatally shot in close range his friend Lil Pab. It says the feds submitted text messages from Durk telling gang members if any of them killed Rondo, they would be made straight. Okay, so the feds submitted text messages from Durk telling gang members if any of them killed Rondo, they would be straight. Y'all, Durk finished. Oh my God. A cooperating government witness will testify that his language was understood to mean a price on Rondo's head. So Durk got people telling on him, snitching on him. Despite killing the wrong person, Durk rewarded the hitmen with cash, jewelry, custom dental grills, appearances in his videos, and mentions in his lyric about Lil Pab's death, according to court documents. LilDurk has been locked up in LA since his arrest in October 2024. His lawyers asked prosecutors to provide more details about the case. Durk's criminal trial was pushed back to late April 2026. He has pleaded not guilty. Okay. Now, from the surface, okay, it would seem like is they're saying they got a informant. In order to have an informant, that would be somebody close to Durk. And they're saying that federal prosecutors have his phone records. Okay. Now, I guess a lot of people feel, okay. Now, I was going to say something about the phones, but I don't need to say nothing about that. Now, here's the thing about that. With Durk, they're saying that fans egg Durk on. Durk got to be slow. It's something ain't right there. Okay, because if you have the federal entities, which would have been the federal law enforcement that investigated this case since the federal prosecutors got it. If you have them saying that Durk did this because of pressure from fans, that makes me wonder. I think I spoke about that yesterday one day. In order for them to be able to identify that, were they the ones that were, they were probably already watching Durk, and it probably blows their mind that they were able to make fake who knows what happened. It could have been a setup from the start, for them to be able to identify that he felt the pressure from unknown people in his chat telling him to slide for Vaughn. Okay. And like I said, I'm pretty sure he was already up on the investigation for other stuff. And he was easier to get once he took the bait, once he took the bait. But yeah, you look at him. Durk has done quite a bit of stuff. Durk was when FBG Cash was killed. Now I feel like this is how I feel, because I was a fan of once I started to learn about FBG Duck. I was a very big fan of FBG Duck's music, like his versatile sound. I always felt like he was set to go very far. Okay. Duck was, because of his sound, he could have easily crossed over and all of that. And I believe that Durk made sure, because he knew that I don't think he wanted any of those FBG boys making it. I think he wanted to be the only person from out of Chicago to rest in peace to FBG Duck. I don't think he wanted any of his ops to go, what he considered his ops to go far. Okay, and so he made sure that he eliminated that because I believe that that stuff with Cash is gonna come up to bite him in the ass, right? I do know that with the duck stuff, a lot of they put a lot of that on Vaughn, and I believe they was able to do that because he was unalive, and I believe Dirk was one of the main ones that helped to push that energy. But I don't believe that Vaughn paid for what happened to Duck. Duck was like the biggest threat. He was more of a threat than Cash. Duck was gonna be a star, and they made sure once he started, he got signed. He got in a deal and all of that. I believe they made sure that they hurry up and took him out too. Okay, and put it all at Von's feet. But I believe Dirk had more money than Von, so I believe Dirk put in on that hit too, just like he did with Cash. And you know, um, you see them. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up. You see them on multiple videos after these young men were gunned down. You see them kind of bragging about it. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. If I could find it, they may have already. Hold on. If you think about it, Duck's mother has always said, she was wondering. Okay, so I think this is one of the videos where this is where Vaughn was actually making fun of. They was actually making fun of him when he died, when he was killed. It said King Von trolling FBG Duck. Let's see.
It's a real nigga party you cannot get in. Busting out the zins. Pulling up the knees. I can shake your hand. No, I'm not your friend. Niggas really shoot no accident. I can't make this shit up. I cannot pretend. Damn. And I heard you know who shot your man. You ain't trying to slash, so don't be acting like you is. Say, it's a real nigga party you cannot get in. Busting out the zins. Pulling up the knees. I can shake your hand. No, I'm not your friend.
Okay. So that's King Von and them sitting making fun of Duck's son Slide, after he was killed. Let's see. I'm looking for Dirk because Dirk, they were celebrating. Um, they said FBG Butter said, "Look, there. I don't know if that's true. Gave him a lot of money to try to get him the backdoor FBG Duck. That I don't know if that's a reputable site. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Bama said he got a lot of rats that's telling on him. Yeah, I mean that's
You feel me? Because I know motherfuckers want to hurt me, motherfuckers want to take my life, so I'm not gonna post nothing, and I can't bag that shit up.
The streets of Chicago, Illinois, mourned greatly on the 4th of August, 2020, as the famous American rapper FBG Duck was shot dead in front of a luxury clothing store on East Oak Street in broad daylight. Known for some of his famous hit singles, Chicago Legends and Dead Bitches, he was slowly becoming a global sensation in the rap industry. Unfortunately, his life was cut short. Carlton Weekly, popularly known as FBG Duck, was born on the 6th of December, 1993, in Ida B. Wells, 39th Street precisely. He was born into a family of 4 with 2 siblings, Jermaine Robinson and Andrea White. At the age of 3, his father was sentenced to 24 years imprisonment, which forced him and his siblings to live with his grandmother in the south side of Chicago, the low end precisely, which exposed him to street violence at a young age. Sometimes, many as 15 people were living in his grandmother's house. Because of the large number of people living with his grandmother,
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Okay. I wasn't proud of being a bad kid. You feel me? But I was a badass kid, you know?
Losing some of his family members to violence at an early age made him cold-hearted.
I mean, 2005, my cousin got killed by police. You know, that kind of me up a lot.
Growing up in the middle of BD and GD gang fights was a tough one. He later joined a smaller gang fraction, STL, EBT, and was a well-known member. In 2009, he became close friends with Shondell Gregory, popularly known as Tuka, who was later killed in January 2011 as a result of the beef between his gang GD and the rival gang BD.
No, it was like 2 years before that. It was like 2 years before that, before he got killed. But you know when you meet a motherfucker and you real close.
Thank you, Raymond, for the $20 super sticker, darling. Thank you so much. And me and him
clicked. Like, that was one of my real close friends.
Okay. So shout out to Dirk. Thank you so much, Raymond. I appreciate you all supporting all the support that you all have been giving me lately. Oh my God, I really appreciate it so much. Hold on, y'all. Let me this is why I think Cash is going to Cash's murder is going to come up at some point. Okay, so they're saying that, let's see. Okay, so this was FBG Duck was unfortunately killed August the 4th of 2020. This is LilDurk going live right after he heard that he was killed. Okay.
I took a picture on my block. They think I'm back in the field. Please don't turn away. Up on my plate, gotta turn away, gotta turn away. Look at this bad boy. Hey. Hey, we got my jury box.
And this video was uploaded August the 4th of 2020. Hey, the day that Duck was killed.
Can the voice of the streets and my people ain't believe in me. I'm talking to my dog. He's acting like his stuff. And he ain't feeling too well. They gave him 39 years. See how this drip, man. Like the heat, no. Dog, is it? That's all, man. We can take a place. Jet life. And she got pizza. Get up with y'all in a minute.
Okay, so a lot of people may say it's nothing, but he went live like right after, that was the day that Duck was killed. It was the day that it was killed. And he didn't really say anything, just showing the chains and stuff like that. But one thing that they was doing, I think because they thought they were so untouchable, especially around that time, they would go live each and every time, and it's still, documents, it's still on the internet. Hold on one second, you all. I don't know how to make it little again. Shit. Hold on. And a lot of people got that up. LilDurk goes live on Instagram right after Duck is shot and killed, And it's on August the 4th. Okay, and it says LilDurk and Lamron celebrates cash on Aliven.
I got one. They're like, damn, what happened to Virgil? I'm like, damn, what happened to your mans? All that whooping on the net, they got your mans. A lot of real niggas. Well, it's only a few of us. Headshot.
Hey, Diane.
Us crew equal a lot. Make a trailer to that shit. Headshot. I ain't trying to squash no beef, nigga. We into it till you die. Real street niggas. Oh, folks, now long live V-Roy, bitch.
Yo, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it ain't. For them, a lot of people been reacting to FBG Cash dying. Being that Black came out, called him Mr. Mellyway because I.
Hold on one second. Wait a minute. Hold on, you all. Y'all hit the like button as I pull this up.
In front of O-Block, in front of the King Von mural. At some point, you take the picture in front of O-Block, in front of the King Von mural.
Mm-hmm.
So what was going on with all that?
Dirk told me to do that.
Dirk told you to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She texted me. She told me I was cool. I went and took the picture. I left.
Computer Murders drops.
31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times. According to the Sun-Times, he ran.
I've been waiting, okay, because I do know that what they did was they kind of tried to push everything that happened to FBG Duck on King Von, okay? And I think that's what Dirk was doing, kind of tried to do after King Von was dead, all those unalivens or whatever. They just kind of put it at the feet of the dead person, like they tried to do with Juke, right? That ain't gonna work either, just like this ain't, gonna work. And it hasn't worked. I think they still had a determination, because I don't know if people know it or not, but I'm sure they do know. Anytime the government can freeze your accounts, they are able to do checks and balances on just how much money you really got, right? Which is why they was able to know that Juke did not have that type of money to be paying for a hit. Juke may not have wanted for any money. He was able to pay his bills. He was able to, do a lot of the things that he wanted to do, but to be able to give a lump sum of money, and they're trying to say $100,000. We already know that it was more than that, right? Anyways, but so the same thing with Von and Dirk. Y'all see why the government had such a hard on for Dirk, because they understood where the money was coming from. He was the one. He was the roots really of that tree, right? King Von, he signed King Von because Von was a hit man and really didn't care. But it just so happens that Von had a sound that people had started to like. They, for some reason, people like danger and the fact that he was killing other humans. Um, Unfortunately, it turned other humans on. Von really had the characteristics of a sociopath and a serial killer. Because anytime you could get on, like everything that he did, like they put on like Twitter, and because he hung out on Twitter a lot around the time that he was around, and he would brag about how he was in competition with Little Roy or T Roy or whatever, trying to kill more people than T Roy. You know, they kind of, it was really sickening. It was almost like it was a sport, right? They was paying these little dudes, and I think a lot of the big amount, the larger amount of the money came from Dirk, not because Dirk hated, um, FBG ducking them. I think Dirk knew he didn't want for ducking them to. He was the one with the record label, right? He wanted to sign people like Gotti, you know. And he didn't really want anybody to, that any of his ops to be successful. And the ones that had the potential to go far, like Duck and Cash, he definitely hurry up and got rid of them, because they had kind of been beefing for a while. But as soon as they started to get some traction, that's when because they would diss each other. It wasn't no, they weren't trying to take him out, but I believe Duck had signed a deal. I believe Cash, after that, people was looking at Cash as the star to kind of go up. They kind of got him out the way, and all for that, they had this urgency to do that when they had been dissing at each other forever. Now all of a sudden, if they're slated to go up, they kind of getting traction. Dirk want to, get them out the way. And I believe that he was one of the ones that kind of pushed that energy too. Okay. He was the main one that kind of pushed that energy. Hold on one second. There is a video of them celebrating. Okay. So this is an interview of LilDurk with his fried brain. Hold on one second.
Cash on the computer murders. Were you dissing that nigga FBG Cash on the computer murders? Because you responded to.
Who?
FBG Cash. He posted up at the mural.
The one who died?
Rest in peace, yes.
I don't like mentioning to the dead.
You know what I'm talking about.
Can I see his face?
Y'all see how callous it is? Okay. He said the one who dead, he kind of put that into the atmosphere. I've always felt like he had something to do with what happened to FBG Cash. It was obvious. He, people want to make it something else, but oftentimes sociopaths will hint at and make mention of what they do. They will throw out subliminals because they want for people to know, hey, I did that. I don't think that they're in the business of trying to claim that they did something that they did not do, but they definitely don't want it to go unnoticed when they do something. So when folks say, well, they're just dissing at them. Now, well, yeah, they dissing at them, but they also insinuated that they had something to do with that, because that's what sociopaths and sick serial killers do. Okay. They want to throw out hints that we did that, because there's a fear that they want to put into the atmosphere, which is why that French fry head. And I think they didn't made him cut his dreads and shit off. Okay, so I guess he ain't got no strength in his hair no more. You know, he said strength was in his hair. Anyways, I will keep going, and I ain't got no, issues with Dirk, but I'm looking for that video.
You remember 012? The hair was brown. I remember.
The night my brother died, if you was there, just know you died too. Extra out from over west, next day the ass was down too.
Okay, so they say he rapped about taking down the person that killed his brother. Okay, so a lot of those things, Dirk put in his songs. Okay, and I do believe that his brothers, Cypress, I believe his brothers.
When Duck passed, man, niggas going crazy, man.
Duck got nailed, no hammers. Told my PO through the gate that I get high as fuck. She asked me how do I get? I told her hash duck.
Like very over disrespectful, bro. Like, and then we ain't even take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, let's go ahead and get in the studio and start making disses. Like, man, we grieving, you know what I'm saying? But we letting it slide though. We see the females who acting like you just over here, but now you over there. We see you over there.
So if FBG Cash spoke about before he died that a lot of the women kind of switched up on them, and after Duck was killed, and kind of started rocking with
I be trying to tell him without saying too much. I'm trying to know. Folks know.
Okay, so that was right after Cash was killed. I'm trying to find that whole video because they said a lot.
Generation killed. So why'd you take that picture with the King Von mirror?
Hold on, y'all.
LilDurk turned 30.
You ain't have your gun for them. You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
So, they have to let me know that's right after FBG Cash. I've always said that folks are, you don't know nothing. It's funny how people, now I see how a lot of these street dudes and stuff, they be ending up, they call themselves street dudes. They end up getting caught. They so damn stupid. They so dumb. Okay. It's sad to be dumb and ignorant. Okay. Dumb and stupid. That's a real bad combination, ain't it? And that's why they get dog walked by the government. Okay. Now, people set up and said, no, they were just dissing at them. Why would these dudes want to claim something that they did not do? Yeah, the girl might have set them up. Folks take money all of the time. And then you got somebody that's telling on them. It's definitely somebody that it gotta be that was looking at some type of charges or something, okay, that was up under them. Who's to say it wasn't somebody that they was paying to set people up? So now they're trying to get themselves out of trouble. That's usually how it goes, okay? Anyways, let's look at this when they was self-snitching on themselves right after Cash was killed. And folks said, well, that's a song. Okay.
You ain't have your gun for them. You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Now, didn't Cash end up dead by a tree when he jumped out the car, right? Okay. Or something. So.
You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
And I got my gun for Boone. They call him Chief. But we should have killed him soon, cause he a thief.
But people thought that he didn't have anything to do with what happened to Cash. I always knew it. I've always been waiting on this one. And I hope at some point that this comes up, that he is charged. What happened to Cash? They got somebody that's talking. So it ain't no telling what else he ain't gonna be charged with, because he tends to have done quite a bit. Okay, this is a prime example of ignorance. You're able to make it out of the atmospheres that you grew up in, the environments that you survived it and was able to become a millionaire. You was in the 1%. And as soon as you get some money, okay, you feel like that money is to go back and consistently destroy. He be on the same thing Gotti on. He sent out a lot of damn fools. Okay. And I believe they so dumb. They doing anything because Dirk is the one that put out the money. So they doing anything. It's probably a lot of them that has turned on him because he got to pay for his own legal fees and stuff. They ain't getting what they want. Okay. They ain't getting what they want no more. So they have turned on him. The government got somebody. But I'm gonna tell you something. The federal prosecutors are just as ruthless as the federal law enforcement. They are just as ruthless. Okay. And I think they have a determination because okay, so Dirk is out in California, but I'm willing to bet that he is gonna be that Chicago, the city of Illinois, the state of Illinois and the state of California is working together. I'm willing to bet that. Okay. Who is Smirk? I don't know who that is.
You have your gun for them, you better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
And I got my gun for Boone. They call him Chief. But we should have killed him soon, cause he a thief.
I wonder how he handling men in jail. Okay. A step forward. Mama Duck says FEG Duck's mom revealed that the court has ruled that she can continue her wrongful death lawsuit against Dirk. Of course. The feds are definitely going to work with her in helping to drain him. Okay. So not only are they going to drain him in legal fees, that's a strategy. Okay. They've given FEG Duck's mother the green light to drain him too. Okay. So pay close attention to what you see happening in LilDurk's case, because I do believe that at some point it's gonna happen when they finally indict Yo Gotti. I know a lot of people don't want for Yo Gotti. They want him to get away, but Yo Gotti just is not God to me. He is not above the laws. Okay, he's not above the law, and he's not God. Of course, he has, I guess, acquired some money, and that's questionable because I don't really know what he got. Okay, because before he killed Young Dolph, at some point, he was still, being around Memphis, getting Rich Lord and all of them to be his protection. Okay, before he started calling the whole police department to come out there. And of course, when people are simple, they will say, well, Gotti got the whole police department in his pocket. I tend to believe what Yo Gotti say. Yo Gotti has a very big disdain for Memphis within itself, and definitely the Memphis police department. Okay. Now, he's had to have the protection of the Memphis Police Department, and I think that's a smart thing. They would do it with anybody, especially when they know that people, it could be a shootout in public. They have an obligation to protect the public, i.e. what they did when Big Juke's funeral, right? When you don't know any better, you will say that they got out there and he was moving like the president. Well, they had to protect the public. They blocked off neighborhoods, of course, because, if you reach out to the police department, of course, the police department already know. Okay, the government knows that you were involved in what happened to Young Dolph. There have been people to lose their life. Okay, and then you reach out to them and you're talking about since your brother passed away and you've still been receiving death threats, of course they're going to. It's obvious they have an obligation to not only protect him, but you're talking about all of these people that was at a funeral. Because a bullet don't care who it hits, so they had an obligation to protect those people. So of course they already knew what the threat was. Okay, so of course I think they did absolutely right. You had a bunch of damn fools and people believed that they shut down all the police departments. You know, I really don't like crazy people. Okay, well, I won't say crazy people. I really don't like people that are dedicated to being stupid. Okay, it's a dedication, and yeah, it's a dedication. They'll do it with any high profile person, and there's a group of people, of innocent citizens, and you've been receiving threats, okay, or you claim you've been receiving them, and you're in your family in fear, and we already know you got all these people coming to his funeral. Of course they're going to protect the citizens. Okay, they don't want no, they're going to be everywhere as a deterrence, right? They're going to be everywhere as a deterrent, right? Now I did ask a police officer. Well, he is a police officer, just higher ranking. I asked him, I said, "No, was it a show what Yo Gotti was doing as it relates to his brother's funeral, or I said, was it a show or was it needed?" He said, both. That's what he said. He said it was both. When he had those snipers and stuff on top of the building, he said that was a show. He said, but we have an obligation to protect when if your people reach out to the police department to let it be known that there have been threats, and you already know there's a large group of people coming, so they had to do their job, and they ain't closed down no other motherfucking police department. It was the damn East Precinct that was out there. Okay, so they had officers and stuff out there that was in that precinct. Okay, they may have pulled some from another ward that was in the same damn precinct, okay, and put them on a detail. And a detail is when they take them out of service, show me out of service on a detail, so that they can sit up like they did and block off areas in a neighborhood until the funeral was over. Okay, that's what happened. Ain't no other precincts were shut down for Juke's funeral. That's a damn fucking lie, right? So, you know, I heard vloggers say that. I heard vloggers say it. So I'm just correcting that. That did not happen. But of course, they did put them out of service. And when I say out of service, that means they ain't getting no calls from the dispatcher. Show me out of service on a detail. That's usually what happens, right? So and that's what happened with that. And I believe that the officer would know, hell, that's his precinct. That's his precinct. Those were his officers. So he knows exactly what happened. Okay. Right? So now, we see LilDurk. I had to talk about that. And rest in peace to Juke. Let me just say that. You'll never see me get on here and throw shots at anybody that has ever lost their life. I just don't stoop that low. I don't stoop that low. Like, regardless of what Juke has done, Juke still had kids. Okay, Juke still has a mother, right? And regardless of what he did, nobody had a right to kill him. I wanted to see Juke indicted and put in jail because he was going to be, but I didn't want to see nobody kill him. I don't have that type of malice in my heart. Okay. The Cypress said, rest in peace to the biggest big Juke. And hey, let me say this. You know, I have cousins and stuff that's in the street or was in the street. They are, what's the word I'm looking for? They are I can't think of the word right now. My brain. Y'all help me out when they called them, said they're renewed. Okay. But of course they're old heads. Okay. They I guess they did what they did and they've turned over a new leaf. They're married and got businesses and all of that. Okay. Um Reformed, that's what it is. They're reformed. Okay. And you don't really see them on the internet. They have like their people to put their, you know, businesses and stuff to promote their businesses on the internet, but they don't really be on the internet. But you know, I was listening to one of my cousins one day talk about Juke, and he was talking about how Juke he said he liked Juke. He said Juke definitely had heart because Juke was a giver, according to him. But now, according, you know, people, you know, they say Juke was a real big instigator too. Of course, I think that's one of the things that they didn't like about him. He kept shit going, but they talked about how he had heart, how he was a giver. Okay, so I think it's really unfortunate that happened to Juke, and I really wish Juke would not have gotten into I wish he had not been sent out because I believe that he was sent out too. He was when decisions were made, Juke was the connection to the streets, right? And this is according to the police. They know that Juke was his brother's enforcer. You think okay, I ain't gonna get into that, right? So back to Durk and as I look at Durk and I look at Yo Gotti, Durk has always reminded me, put me in the mind of it, like him and Yo Gotti, because how they sent people out. We see Durk's fate. And if you ask me, Durk was a bigger star than Yo Gotti. I don't, you know, and they had a determination to get Durk. I think the difference in Durk and what happened to Yo Gotti, and Yo Gotti is when Yo Gotti and them hit Dolph, Yo Gotti retreated. He did. When Durk and them killed Duck, they didn't retreat. Durk didn't show no signs of he I don't think he thought he was being watched, and he thought he was untouchable. Durk had to have been on drugs. Okay. He had to have been on drugs. But that's the difference between what of Durk and Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti kind of retreated a little bit, and he even pulled. I think at one point he wanted to try and use Black Youngster, and you know, I think after he received a few visits and he saw that he was definitely a target, and they knew what he had done and been a part of. He even pulled Black Youngster back. You know, you see, at one point, Black Youngster became extremely depressed, and just like they pushed everything down, they tried to push everything down on Orange Mound Quet's shoulder. I believe, you know, when Black Youngster there seemed to have been a sigh of relief. I'm in here. I promise you, when Juke was killed, it seems like Black Youngster had a sigh of relief. That's just how I feel, you know. And I don't know why I feel that way. I guess because I was looking at him. Okay. But so people always raise the question about, will Yo Gotti get away? I mean, you take LilDurk, who definitely had more fame than Yo Gotti. Okay. Think about what happened in LA. Yo Gotti has basically, they did not they attempted to kill Young Dolph. I think them just making sure that they cover everything as it relates to the history of trying to, and people need to look at that, of killing Young Dolph, right? And making sure that they cover everything, and people pay for their crimes, regardless to how long they do. It's recorded, it's on record. Like there's a history of it. Somebody, when it did 5 years for in this camp for trying to kill him in California, somebody went in, maybe the same person did 6 years for trying to kill him in North Carolina. That was another, like, I think they're doing good. They've done good of covering the bases as it relates to making sure there's documentation and convictions of some sort. And that also makes it easier we see what Mama Duck is doing. It makes it easier for Young Dolph's children. Okay. And family, when all of this is over, okay, if they haven't already, to file a wrongful death lawsuit. And we have to give Hagerman and Manny, Aurora, and Luke, what's his name? Luke Evans. What was the name of Cornelius's? Was Luke Evans? Who was Luke Evans? Was that Stray Drop's attorney? And we have to get them their props, because they also helped to put on record the money trail, okay, that led from CMG straight from Yo Gotti. So that definitely helps with wrongful death lawsuits. And I think the way that is happening with LilDurk, they striking him all at once. I was looking at India. She was live, I believe, yesterday or the day before. She did she wasn't live. She put up like a video. India looks very sad. Okay, because she knows her man is probably, now he got a little bit of money. He might not come home no more. And if he does come home, it's gonna be, he'll be lucky. He might get lucky enough to get 20 years. Okay. Hold on, you all. Y'all know I got a cold. I have to blow my nose, okay? He might get lucky enough to get 20 years. And trust me, that will come from having a good lawyer. Okay, because he definitely, with Dirk, with what they have done, and I'm sure they digging up a lot. It's time has gone by. He ain't able to grease no palms. Everybody talking right now. Yo Gotti is still able to, through a few people probably, to grease a few palms. And with him being out at this point, there are people that probably still think that they might be able to get something from him, because they probably talk to some people that's around him and they make them feel like that. Yo Gotti ain't trying to fool with nobody, okay? Because he already know what is up the pipeline for him, okay? Since I remember, she did a live in rainwater, asked for dirt clothes. Well, hey, you hear a lot of people say Dirt coming home. And we can never say what a jury is going to do. You might have some jurors that are paid out. You never know. It's up to a jury, right? So I would think based on what they say they have that it would be a conviction, right? But hey, because we don't know, what a jury of may decide, based on how a performance is, because all the defense has to do is produce reasonable doubt. That's it. Okay. So we don't really know what the performance is. They may get in there and perform like Manny. Manny put on a Academy Award winning performance, and you had a jury to go for it, right? So that may be the exact same thing with Dirk. You may have a jury go for it, but you got the federal entities involved. And as I say, the like like the feds are very merciless. Okay, and the judges are the same. The judges, the federal prosecutors, and the federal government. And it is because, like I said, they have unlimited access to anything. And yeah, they have unlimited access to anything. So unlimited funding too. Steven says the feds are keeping the jury anonymous to prevent, right, because they like to put hits on the jury too. We know Dirk is not above that, but I get to wondering, like, I wonder, how much money did Dirk put away for his did he know that he couldn't have known that this was going to happen when it was carelessly, but they, you have to let the enemy think that they're winning. Okay. Hey, gas, is that gas man? You have to let the enemy think that they're winning, and I think that is the strategy of the federal government, to make the enemy think that they're winning. Okay. It's something. You just sit back and make them think that they've won, um and I kind of think what Dirk was doing, he made it very easy. I still believe myself, and I don't have any proof of this. I believe that Dirk, I believe that the feds got into his chat because they was already watching him and decided to bait him to see what he would say. Okay, as it relates to, you gonna spam for Vaughn, you gonna spam for Vaughn. Okay, I do believe that, and not knowing that he would be stupid enough to take it, and he took it. I think that was a strategy. That's just something I believe. I don't have no proof of it. Um, but I do believe that they did that, and he was dumb enough to take the bait because he felt like he had pressure. He probably scared his fans gonna turn on him. He need the money, the pressure of constantly making hits and wanting to go and kill somebody else so that he could put it in his song. Like, he wanted to be able to put something in his records, as if he was untouchable. He wanted to look untouchable because, unfortunately, the more people you kill, the public is really twisted now. The more respect you get. Okay. And so I gotta say, it makes me happy for, the feds to make hits. The feds is making hits unpopular these days. Okay. And so I gotta take my hats off of them because they do's the motherfucking thing. Okay. I work with the feds, so I see how they do it every day. Um, they the champ. I'ma just tell you like that. And I ain't saying it because I work over there. I'm just saying it because I see how they move. They the motherfucking champ. And so these black men got to be a bunch of damn fools, and the white ones too, because they don't discriminate. We used to think that the feds go after the just go after black men. The black men just so stupid. They make it easy for them to get them. Ain't got no damn money other than what's in their pocket, and they robbing and killing everybody, and they want to go start gangs, and they jump on social media. Now they think they smarter than social media. We don't put nothing on social media. We just gonna kill off of social media. Now the thing is, we just gonna we gonna go and hit by ourselves. I ain't talking about all black men, because you got a great deal of black men that are very smart and astute. And They handle their business, and I ain't talking about killing people. Okay, they really do be like, the Frank Matthews of the South. Y'all know I've been researching Frank Matthews, right? I really do believe, um, I really do believe that Frank Matthews survives. Okay, I believe that he's still alive. I believe he's alive, and I believe um, at some point he got back into the United States. Okay, I'm through with that. But yeah, it's funny. Y'all don't believe I be studying stuff like that. I love like stuff like that. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna tell you something like, I, and I'm gonna get ready to talk about your guy. And yeah, Frank got away, and I think at some point Frank got back into the United States. Um, um, I I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say it. It says he was in, yeah, you know um what I do is like with some of this stuff, the reason I was so involved, like I was so fascinated with OJ Simpson's case. um the reason I was so involved, like I was in junior high school when that case was going on. I had a fascination with it. And so on my lunch break, the librarian at my school would be looking at it. I would go in the library instead of being in lunch and look at the case. And my mother would, we had VCRs, would record it, because it was on all day. Okay. And so not knowing that I would be a investigator when I got grown, it's just really weird how I had such a fascination with it. I read all the books. I reached out to OJ Simpson when he was in the Las Vegas jail, and um, I ended up finding um, investigators from LAPD that was on the case in the beginning, and they actually ended up taking off of the case, okay, because they were on another route, like. You had Marsha Clark, if that's her name, I forget her name, and Chris Darden with his weak ass, and you had them, especially the Clark lady, okay, Gia Garcetti, all these prosecutors that knew they wanted to blow up, and they did. They became rich. They wrote books and started getting speaking engagements, but they got it off the back of O.J. Simpson. Okay, you had um, before that Mark Furman stuff, because they put Mark Furman on there afterwards, because the first investigators that they put on OJ's case from LAPD, they was going in another direction, and it did not fit what they wanted. They knew that it would blow up, being that a black man that was a superstar, a football player, killed this white lady, and domestic violence. A lot of laws was changed after that OJ Simpson, Nicole Brown stuff, right? As it relates to domestic violence. And so those were the investigators that they took off when they got another lead and started and found this guy that Robert Kardashian actually had hired to kill Nicole 6 months before she was killed. They actually turned on him and set him up. Robert Kardashian was having an affair with Nicole. It's just it goes deep. And I believe that at some point OJ knew that, but OJ never talked about it. Because they were into a lot of stuff. But he never, because they was dealing with the Russian mob and on some illegal stuff. And Nicole knew about it, and she had started threatening to put it out there. There's no fairness in war as it relates to when you're going through a divorce. She wanted a bigger settlement. And she knew about a lot of the illegal things that she was doing. But Robert Kardashian, they're saying, had really fallen in love with Nicole. Okay. And it really hurt him when she found out she was secretly having an affair with their other friend, which was the Marcus guy, Marcus Allen, I believe, that had played football. Okay. So when he hired a private investigator that they had found to be following Nicole and stuff, that private investigator turned over all of this stuff to LAPD, and those investigators, they threw all of that out because it did not fit the narrative that they wanted, because they knew that if you get a famous ex-football player and this white lady, it was going domestic violence. He kills her because of jealousy and all of that. They did him dirty. Now they did him dirty, but he never spoke about it, I believe, because of all of the stuff that he was tied up in, and then he still had children and stuff, But Robert Kardashian ass croaked over, didn't he? Anyways, your sins will find you out. Now he dead somewhere, okay? Anyways, what's up, Kenny Adams? We don't talk about him no more, because I could really get into that case. I could really get into that, but I know y'all don't want to hear about OJ. He gone on now. But I said, and to piggyback off of that, LA has always made sure, the LA prosecutors have always made sure that they focused in on or California focus in on celebrities. They're gonna try to eat Durk up. And I believe once Durk's fate is decided in California, I think he's going to be looking at quite a few things in Illinois, because I've always felt like what happened to Cash was going to reside in the world of LilDurk. Okay, if I said Drake, I'll be forgetting and calling LilDurk Drake sometimes. But I feel like it's going to what happened to Cash is going to reside in the world of LilDurk. Okay, and I think at some point he's going to have to reconcile that too. Okay, so we see that Mama Duck is and they're setting the stage for something with FBG Duck. For them to give Mama Duck the green light to sue Durk, that means, and if he's found liable, that means that the civil courts is saying that he has he's responsible in some type of way. So who's to say? I mean, I think that's going to come back and bite him in the ass. I think what they're allowing Mama Duck to do is by design. Civil cases and criminal cases are totally different. But I think a stage is being set, and so she's going to drain him on one end. Because if he's convicted, he's going to file some type of an appeal. And I think they're going to have Mama Duck to go ahead and finish him off. And she's going to file an astronomical lawsuit. And she's gonna try to finish him off in, with fees. He's gonna have to fight that. So I think they're gonna drain his account. They know how much money Durk got. They know when you move money around. I mean, it's always, he might have some money that he got in his household, that India has. I'm sure they put money in safes and stuff like that. But at once you drain everything out of your accounts, I mean, now you got to start dealing with the money in the safe. We already know that, to try to fight for your legal fees. Like, how much longer is he going to get residuals? It seemed like to me all of his artists are gone. And hold on, y'all. Oh wow. Yeah, they closing down the store. They closing stores early. Target said they had to close. They had to cancel my order because the store is going to close early. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk to the store. I gotta walk to the store. Because DoorDash or nobody is, and I don't blame them. Don't get out in this. Don't drive in this stuff. especially if you got bad tires. Okay, you're gonna get stuck. That's why you need to get you some good tires for stuff like this, right? Yeah, Dirk got people that's turning on him. See, people are only loyal to you as far as their interest goes, right? Their need for you goes. That he can't do nothing for them anymore. So all of them are turning on Dirk. If they feel like they can get out, they feel like he finished. They get to sitting in jail. They go, a person's mind, even though they did it for the money, their mind will tell them, shit, like, I'm in this shit for this because this nigga right here. That's what their mind tell them, even though they in it because they wanted some money. He can't, he through. Their mind tell he through, he ain't gonna be able to do nothing else to me. They'll start telling on them. Yeah, Miss Latoya, I've been trying to get orders from Target for 2 days, and they just went ahead and sent me a message and said we're gonna go ahead and cancel it. That's true, Steven. That's true. So I'm just gonna have to boil my dog some chicken because it ain't good. It ain't even good to walk. That ice is so thick. You don't even see nobody running and jogging and walking or nothing. Just stay in the house, boil the chicken and shred it and give it to the damn dogs. Okay, they eat spoiled chicken breast until this ice starts to melt, and I don't see it melting anytime soon. That ice is thick. Yes, more ice and snow is on the way. Because I was just looking at it looks like it's gonna sleet tonight. And then it's going to sleet again like tomorrow. So that's gonna add more. It's gonna freeze up. That's gonna make the ice even thicker. I'm so glad I went to the grocery store and I ain't got nothing sweet in my house because I stopped buying sweet stuff. And it might be a good thing because I sure didn't want some ice cream, but it's a good thing. I don't have nothing sweet, but I sure got 2 freezers full of food, so I'm all right. You ain't lying, Tam. Mugs slipping and sliding with them bald. I'm telling you, they getting stuck. They got bald headed tires. It's good to keep. I'm gonna tell y'all the best type of tires to get that you will not get stuck, and those are Continental tires. Continental tires are so good. I'm telling you. I remember last year I was going down Jackson, and it was so much. It might have been a year last year, the year before last. It was so much ice and snow. Cars was getting stuck. They was getting stuck in that. They was pushing on the gas, vroom, trying to get out that ice, and I was just riding right on through the ice. I was praying. I was like, Lord, please don't let me get stuck, because we're gonna be sitting here until I'm gonna call a tow truck because I can't push. I don't want to get out and push or nothing, but they was getting stuck and I was just riding right on through, and that's because I had I had good tires. It's time for me to get some more now. I didn't realize how hilly North Memphis was, especially Frazier. Yeah, yeah, yeah. North Memphis got some areas too that's really curvy. And North Memphis got a lot of curves too. It's certain areas where it's really curvy. So it ain't good to be, especially in that area. So people need to be safe, child. Ain't nobody in DoorDash. If the people in DoorDash ain't getting out, not unless your husband has like a really one of those big old trucks with those big old tires, and I don't know if that's safe. Hell, um you don't even hear about the tow truck people getting out. I mean, you don't even hear about that. Um, that's normal weather for my city. It's 10 below in Chi-Town. Ooh, oh my God. It's 33 degrees right now, and that's higher than it's really been in a few days, but it's cold. It's still very cold. So That's something. Okay. That's I hate that. Y'all make sure you all hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please do hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support the channel, you can support the channel via Cash App, or you can hit up the super thanks. Again, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Raymond for sending $20. But I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. I've been getting so much support, especially as of lately. And I really just appreciate it so much. He said, at least the murders and crime is way down. Yeah, even the murderers and the damn robbers and stuff, they saying it's too cold to get out. Hey, Tyranny, they're saying it's too cold to get out and be robbing folks, child. I feel so terrible for the homeless people. I do, because they have to use $7 to get in to the mission, and they normally get it from like the people that work downtown and stuff. They panhandle all day. The courts and stuff have been closed. You know, they sit out in front of the courts, both of them, 201 and the federal courts, and they beg for money. Okay, and so you have a lot of lawyers and stuff like that. A lot of us, give them money if we have money on us. They ain't even had that. So how are they going to get into the mission? I think during times like this, if whether they got it or not, in frigid temperatures, they should be allowed to get into the homeless shelter. They should not turn them away. So we're praying for the homeless people too. You getting ready to hit the highway? Where you going? So yeah. And listen, you all, you have not heard Quando Rondo talk about LilDurk. Let's see if I could pull that up. You haven't really heard Quando say a whole lot. Let's see. Okay. Oh Lord.
Like a LilDurk, who I'm gonna talk to also. LilDurk is a Muslim. Now that you are a Muslim, are you prepared to make it? He needs to be prepared also to have that unit, because that's what distinguishes you to be a true Muslim and not a munafiq, not a hypocrite. So that's what I'm saying. That's what's going. And you ask,
that's Dr. Umar
for that. But I just wanted to put that out there and to see where your mind is, because it's not just him, but anybody else. Because you say Allah is the best of plans. So how do you? What do you think about in that regard? But that's why I wanted them.
I love a lot of brothers for the sake of Allah, right? And I just want everybody to move on and close that door, so whatever behind that door, let it get dealt with behind that door.
Hell no. Hell.
Appears to show Quando Rondo distraught while first responders move the body. So far, no arrests have been made.
Around this time that
did y'all think that the folks was not going to get Durk? And I'm telling y'all what's I don't know what's worse. It's scary to think that we live in a world where people are so barbaric, because when they pulled the boy body out of the car, remember, people started doing like challenges and making fun of Quando for being like, the boy was ambushed and in shock. And you had grown men making videos, grown men that probably got sons, young sons. Some of these old ass motherfuckers is pathetic. It's real sickening to me when I see men, okay, that sit up and all they have is they want to consider themselves thugs. They want to act like they so street. That's 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 their thing. They think it's cool, and they in their 40s and 50s and stuff. To me, even in their late 30s, to me, that's sickening to me. As a woman, it really is, and I think it's sickening to a lot of other men too, because you hear men say sometimes, "Damn, bruh, bruh messed up, bruh messed up." It's an embarrassment to me as a man, for bruh to be sitting up claiming, throwing gang signs and claiming this and claiming that, and he old as dirt. Okay, but did people really think that the feds was gonna let Dirt get by? No, they let him hang himself. Okay, let's see.
There was a $1 million bounty on your head.
Yeah.
Did you hear about it?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
You could try to do what you're trying to do, but is you gonna be able to go get your money? Like, is you gonna be able to make it back home? Is you ever gonna be able to see them $1 million? Like, it was like, try your luck.
What's up, y'all? This your boy Hector, and I'm back again with another video, man. And today, man, we're gonna be talking about Dirt, man. He done put $1 million bounty on Quando Rondo and Lil Tim head, man, for the killing of King Von, man. So tell me what y'all think about this, man. And like, that's why it's cool to be smart and good to stay out the way, man. This man had put $1 million hit on his head, knowing that the feds and everybody was gonna be looking at him. Innocent paperwork. Look at this video with 1090J.
Quando Rondo. Consistent with defendant's bank's promise to reward co-conspirators, defendant Wilson solicited hitmen by promising to pay a $1 million reward on behalf of defendant Banks in exchange for flying to LA to commit the murder. The government has also disclosed a list of defendant Banks and OT.
So now Dirt, bro, he facing a federal case with nobody around, man. King Von dead. So both of y'all was without y'all kids, bro. Ain't nobody around for y'all or nothing no more, for real. Because ain't nobody got the money. Y'all was the money makers. Quando Rondo only got, what, 4 years of some small stuff. Lil Tim out, bro. So it's like, you did all this for nothing, bro. And I know the comments and slide for Vine and all that type stuff, bro. Ain't nobody even around. So that's why it's cool to be smart, because of stuff like this, man. Sometimes you got to leave that stuff in God's hands, and you got to be humble, bro, and have faith, man.
I don't know who that brother is, but I like him, okay? Because he talking some real stuff. And shout out to 1090 Jake. I know a lot of people like to give 1090 Jake a hard time, but 1090 Jake gets to the paperwork, okay? It don't be photoshopped or nothing like that. I think 1090 Jake, regardless to what his race is, he's proactive, okay? So people try to say he the feds. If that makes it even better for me, okay? I don't believe that he is the feds. He just knows how to get to the paperwork, okay? You have to give people their props. Y'all hit that like button for me, okay? Please hit the like button. Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Hold on, you are. If he said we don't like Jake the Snake, well, I think a lot of people pull from his videos, I think a lot of people pull from his videos. I hear people try to say that people like, and I've said it too, okay? Especially in the beginning, that they are culture vultures. But then I get to thinking about, how can we talk about them? You have a, is it better for, you know, some of these black vloggers to put it out? Because if they could get the information, they'll put it out. So what difference does it make? Who puts it out? They'll call, you know, 1090 Jake and Vlad the feds, because I've said it. I don't know if I've called Vlad the feds, but I've said that I definitely believe that Adam is an FBI agent. I just believe that he is. Okay. A lot of people felt like I was crazy when I said that, and then something came out as it relates to Adam and the feds or something like that. You know, I've said that Vlad act like the feds or something like that, but I've always said that I felt like Adam was actually an undercover FBI agent, because I know how deep undercover they go. But you know, a lot of people feel like because he got a porn star wife, and I mean that could be a part of the play. I mean, they so fascinated, they so distracted with the porn star wife he's got. You know, they forget about that he's probably an undercover, deep undercover FBI agent. So I don't know though. Y'all hit the like button for me. Okay, make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Adam is, yeah, I just always felt like that more so than Vlad. Vlad, I don't think Vlad is the police. You know, now he gets people indicted because he asks questions that they are not supposed to answer. But Adam reminds me of a FBI agent that is deep undercover, and they do get into character. Yeah. Anyways, you guys, so people get to wondering, okay, if Yo Gotti is gonna get away. I don't believe that Yo Gotti is gonna get away. Like I said, the difference in Yo Gotti and Drake. Why do I keep calling LilDurk Drake? I don't know why. The difference in Yo Gotti and LilDurk is that LilDurk got careless and he kept going. You know, he thought he had all those crash dummies around him and they could throw out subliminals. LilDurk is mentally unstable. Okay. So he thought his money would be able to buy him out of anything. You know, some of his friends end up dying and he could just blame everything on them. Here's the thing, a lot of those ones that did the dirt with him, they're trying to throw themselves a lifeline. Some people are snitching on him. Okay. He no longer can benefit them. He thought that he was going to be able to get online and play in the face of the federal government and brag about using his money for hits, okay, and to pay people off. And he thought he was going to walk away clean. That's the only difference between him and Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti was going to do it in the beginning, okay, when he was talking about we the last man standing. Looked like to me they don't try to scrub the internet clean, okay. He wanted to do it right a little bit right after Young Dolph died, but then he quickly ran, okay. He quickly retreated and went quiet, and nobody can. We all can attest to that, right? So no, I don't think he's gonna get away. At some point, they're gonna get him. Dirk just made it real easy. He made it easy, along with the people that he's no longer feeding. Made it easy for the feds. Yo Gotti is still through some of the people that he kind of trusts, like maybe his cousin and stuff. He's still feeding some of those other guys, you know. So enough where right now they would think twice, and they ain't been indicted yet either. So, you know, once they start getting indicted, they start draining his money too, because that's what's gonna happen. That's why you hear about him, you know, writing big checks and shit. I mean, but Yo Gotti is dumb too. It's like his strategy never changes. When they do something, they, you know, at once, you know, they like to record it, you know, giving out big checks and stuff, or giving out big money and all of that. But he'll probably you'll probably see Yo Gotti giving out like large sums of, because he knows that if it ain't already, if they're not already haven't already done it, he knows that that wrongful death lawsuit is coming. So, you know, normally because they can trace everything, you know, like when you try to put money in offshore accounts and all of that, you know, when you put stuff in other people's names and all of that shit, you'll probably see him giving out like large sums of money under the guise of like birthday gifts and stuff to family members. Oh, I gave this family member so many millions. I gave that family member so many millions. All the time, you know, just hiding their money. He thinks he's smart. You know, kind of like how he did with 0%. Um, the guy that, you know, he was supposed to sign when he did that challenge, and he kind of thought he was tricking the public, and 0%, 10%. Somebody say it's 10%. And 10%, and you know, that I believe that was a way of funneling money, you know. 10%, they tells me he still performs and all of that. He's like the most silent person. You never hear nobody talk about him on CMG. That's really weird. Okay. Hmm. He said he feels that Reggie Jr. has something to do with Young Dolph's situation. Okay. Well, you've had people to say that they feel like that. Um, as far as when they finally murdered him, I don't believe that. But now when they was in LA and some stuff went down, he could have been an instigator or dropping locations and stuff like that. He could have. You know, you never know. Because he's definitely a crook. His sins and found him out too. They tells me he around here wearing a diaper, shitting on himself. Okay, so you have to be very careful about the things that you do because it will catch up with you. Um, they says he's gonna give no family members shit outside of Pooh and Jerry. Yep, that's probably who it is, and his kids and his nieces and nephews too. Y'all hit the like button. Okay, make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. See, people tend to change up, you know, when they get desperate. You know, they want to so yeah, I didn't got upset, but I understand that you can't get nobody to come and deliver nothing in this type of ice. Oh, I don't know if he was sending cannabis to Memphis. I don't know if he was. That's been a rumor on YouTube. Y'all hit the like button for me. I wish I could have you all call in, but I don't have that phone for you all to call in. Cypress says, shout out to Reggie. Lord have mercy. I bet CMG can't wait until the snow thaws out because Tamara been on it. Oh my God. I never thought I would live to say this, but I mean, I miss being at work, so y'all have to keep me company. I miss my mama and my kids and my grandbaby, and so everybody just kind of stuck. So I have to FaceTime them. Okay, I think my mom has gotten sick of me. Um, my little friend was trying to get out, and I do have a little friend. Okay, I like him too. He was trying to get out last night. I was like, no, you stay on. You stay on where you at, because he gets on my nerve a little bit too. But I do like him though. He fine and handsome. All that good stuff. Just be getting on my nerves sometimes. Miss T says prayers up for LD and YN. Get tight, see the light to be led right. Yeah. Yeah, the dogs are asleep. They are. The dogs asleep. So, anyways, y'all want to ask me some questions? Ask me some questions. What happened to Uncle Daddy? What happened to Uncle Daddy? Me and Uncle Daddy, he's Uncle Daddy got on my nerve too bad. When they older, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've always kind of like older men. Well, not kind of. I like them, but as you get older, they get older. They be stuck in their ways and stuff. You're not talking about my friend though, that I've been friends with for 25 years. That I said that was wanting to date me. I won't date him, not him. That's who you call Uncle Daddy, right? Are you talking about a guy that I dated before that's quite a bit older than me? You might be talking about my friend that's over one of the East precincts. We've been friends too long to date. I ain't trying to date him. I told him I need him as my friend because for some reason I get stuck in my ways. I be ready to be by myself. And I ain't get ready to mess up no friendship. I told him, I was like, dog, like, yeah, that's probably who you talking about, Steven. I was like, dog, like after 25 years, why would you even want to date somebody you've been friends with for 25 years? Like, that's insulting. Like, I feel like he lusting over me. I ain't get ready to mess up no friendship for no dick, period. So, I need his wisdom. He's been there for he's been consistent in my life for 25 years. So he's a good guy. He's been a little sick. I'll be glad when the ice has melted so that I can go and see him and check on him and stuff. He has been a little sick. And he's a good guy. He's real firm. Like I told him, he need to go on retire because he's been working for the police department for 39 years. That's a long time to be at a police department. It's time for him to retire. My mama was like, well, he is trying to retire and marry you and live life. I'm like, I don't know. One of my friends told me, it's like they got ready to take care of you. And you sitting up talking about you got goals and you want to do this, you want to do that. You got a man that's been in love with you for so long, he's ready to marry you. Like, but he's such a he's got that like that police mentality. Like I tell him all the time, like your neck, you a stuffy neck. You a stuffed neck. Like he's real firm and I be talking to him like, nah, that's not it. Nah, that's not it. I used to try to get him, and I'm like, you be too serious. And he said all the time, like, I think you like kind of misjudge me after all these years. You be insinuating that I'm a mean person. No, you're not a mean person. He's a very giving person. He is, but he's just so firm. Like we laugh and stuff, but even when we laugh, we be like, he's like, he says it like he's just got that paramilitary like mentality. I be whining and stuff all the time, and like he don't seem to be moved by that. I don't like that. So I don't think that he would be. I don't know how that would work out because he's so firm. Like women are spoiled, so I don't because he said all the time, Tamara, you've been spoiled since like the day I met you. I think he got a problem with that. So I'm not gonna be with a man. I feel like he want to try to change me. She too spoiled. I gotta break her. No, you're not gonna be able to break me. So, and I'm not saying he gonna do that because I don't believe that he would. I just think he would be so stuffy. Like I like to laugh, and I'm really what's the word that I'm looking for? I am vibrant, but I'm real. What's the word that I'm looking for? Um, Animated too. I am. Like I need him. I don't want him to be like if one day if one day I'm really feeling a certain way, he just sitting there looking at me like you being dramatic. I don't like that. What are you talking about? I feel this way today. So I need you to make me feel better. So, but he is a good guy. He is like he's a good guy. He is a good guy. He is. He's a good guy. Does not have any children. He said to me one day, you know, Tamara, I think he was like, you know, I got everything. I got wheeled to the St. Jude Hospital. The dude gonna get $1 million like my dad did. Okay. I told him, why don't you just wheel it to me? He said, I've been trying to wheel it to you. You won't marry me. Why you gonna give him all that money you worked for, all your pension and stuff to the St. Jude Hospital, and you got me as your friend for 25 years? Y'all pray and ask God for a good man, and he'll send y'all some and find every excuse in the book to not be. He's always been good with his money. I remember when we was working in felony response, he had just bought that house that he was in, and he used to always say to me, you know, and he paid it off early. He paid it off early. And he used to always say to me, you know, I'm gonna always keep my house in East Memphis. When I get married again, me and my wife gonna have a house built. Everybody used to say, all of the investigators in homicide, everybody that knew our friendship, everybody in like the homicide like all of the investigators, they used to always say, dog, you know, Tamara, like that's a good, I almost said his name. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to put him out there on Front Street. That's a good dude that really likes you. I was so in shock one day. We was talking, and he's always so serious. I used to try to get things out of him about the Young Dolph case. And he would be real firm about it because he's also like the liaison with the federal entities too. He's one of those ones too. So one day, he just out of the blue, because he used to talk about Trula Mafia a lot, and he used to talk about he still knew the address, and he would talk about like he knew when they was that little gang war was going on, because his precinct was handling his officers. They had a team that was dedicated to that. And he was like, he knew when they had taken somebody out. He was like, one of those gangs, I do believe that he did say Trula, was they would pull the pants down and shoot the person in the butts. That's how that was their thing. Like after they would kill them. I believe he said it was Trula. And I remember one day I was talking, and he never really say much about the Young Dolph case. I was kind of talking to, because I talked to him about everything, right? And then he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, you know, Tamara, Zach Randolph was real close to those Trula boys. You know that, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah." I've learned, like, especially with that, when he says something, he'll just kind of say something to kind of guide me in a direction sometimes. It's like, you know, Zach was real close to those Trula boys. You know that, don't it? And he said that several times. And one of the reasons, the very reason that I never blame the cookie shop, is because I know he'll never lead me wrong. He'll never lead me wrong. I told him one time, I said to him one time, I said, you know, I've never blamed the cookie shop for, you know, this young Dawson, because he had asked me not to vlog on the case, especially in the beginning. And so because I vlogged on it, because he's like, he's so hard headed, he never listened to what I say. And he was just saying, you know, when I started vlogging, Tam, I don't think this is the right time for you to vlog on it, because, you know, they had killed Jeremiah Taylor. They knocked down I don't want to talk about it. Them folks gonna be indicted on some shit. And so anyway, so that made him start watching my comments and stuff, you know, because I didn't know anything about YouTube like that. I was just vlogging. And I remember when he called me, like probably a few days after I put that video up about Straight Drop. One of my friends had told me some stuff that went on in the jail with Straight Drop. And then he kept watching. He was like, I kept looking at your comments a couple times a day, because I knew that you was gonna get threatened. I knew they was going. He was like, it took him a little longer than what I thought, because he had called me and said, I told you you got a threat. And they sure, and I went and looked at it. I was looking for it, just so dumb at the time, ignorant to what was really going on YouTube. And I went looking, and I was like, yeah, you know, you said too much and this and I think it's trace, you know, I think that little group of dudes that was around JoJo Splat and them was doing quite a bit of trolling and threatening and stuff. And I know one thing, I bet you they, you know, JoJo Splat and them was stealing a lot of cars and stuff. I bet you they ain't doing it now. I bet you it's broken up. I bet you they broke that up. They don't steal. That whole little situation was dismantled, because, you know, they were some of the ones that kind of led the police to, they did quite a bit. They wanted for people to know that they had an affiliation with with the people that had taken down Young Dolph. They were sending messages to each other on Instagram, and then they tried to delete the damn Instagram, and social media can never, you know, there's a digital footprint forever. I probably shouldn't have said that. And so they did a lot of stupid stuff, right? They was jumping up on platforms and pointing a gun at people. They were so stupid, right? They had to, you know, they had to be dismantled. And so that's kind of what they did. She says he actually sounds like a good friend. He is a good friend. He is a very good friend. He's just a good guy. You know, he's an older guy. He's a good guy. My mama say that all the time. She was like, you were supposed to get that man some babies. Cause he used to always joke, but it was a joke. Tamara, you gonna have me some babies? And I remember when I met his mama, he used to always talk about, you know, it's for his mother passed away. And he would talk about you know, when my mama met you, my mama always say, is Tamara gonna give me some grandbabies? I said, what make your mama know we just best friends, right? So his parents and stuff are so nice. He's an only child. His father is still alive, and his father lives around the Westwood area. And I remember he bought for Christmas, he was like, I'm gonna buy my dad, like, he's like, my dad got like a one of those old trucks, old trucks. It's like, I'm gonna buy my dad a new truck. His daddy told him, I don't know how to work those new trucks. I tell you what, son, you take that truck back and give me your older truck. Give me your older truck. He's just a good guy. He is. He's a good guy. And he's been a little sick. So I told him it's time for him to go on and retire, but I don't blame him for not retiring though, because I think the next promotion, and I'm praying for him, the next promotion, I believe that he'll be, because he's a rank below deputy chief. So I think the next promotion, if one of those chiefs retire, I think it would be disrespectful not to promote him to chief. I think he would be, you know, more chief material than Caroline. And Caroline's not a chief, but shout out to Caroline, you know. But yeah. So we was talking one day. Look at me telling y'all my business. And he was like, we were just talking. It was so random. And he was like, you know, just like, you know, I always, and he said it just like this, I always wanted to be with you. I said, what? I was like in shock. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that. Like, it was just so weird. You know, you have a friend that's been your friend for 25 years and they go, I want to be with you. You have to think about, like, is it a curiosity that he has or what? Because what could it be? Like, because I told him, I said, you've always said I was too spoiled. I react too fast. Like, you got all these, you always talking about, like, pointing out stuff. Like, I would guess he would think that it was a flaw. So I never thought that he had an interest in me though. He says, yeah, get Chief Davis the F out. He would be good in Chief Davis's spot. I'm telling you that right now, he would be a good police director. He would be. He's educated. He went and got his master's. He is an overachiever. He's definitely paramilitary. He remind me of them federal judges. He's a stuffed neck. That's what he is. A stuffed tie, whatever they call it. Said Caroline Mason. Caroline cool. You know, a lot of Caroline people, Caroline's name came up. I think a lot of vloggers at the time, as it relates to Caroline Mason. Lil John said he thinks that LilDurk is cooked. I think so too, Lil John. I think that Durk is cooked. When you look at when I hear that the prosecutors got you know, people that have turned on him, that's snitching on him, and it's got to be the people that was some people that was close around him. Oftentimes it is people that have done dirt for you and they trying to get themselves out of trouble. So they're able to identify, they've been around up under you, they've gotten in trouble, they're trying to get themselves out of trouble. So they're able to identify and say, I know he did this because I was involved in it. You know, that's what it is, a stiff neck. Because I was involved in it. So yeah. So yeah, I think he is too. I think that's one of the reasons why, like, India was kind of looking sad, you know. I think that's why India was looking sad, because it's not looking good. I'm sure it's some stuff brewing that his attorneys, because a lot of times attorneys know stuff before it hits the media, right? I'm sure his attorney has told him some more stuff. I really believe, because Durk did a lot of dirt in Illinois. He's gonna have to pay his retribution to Illinois, and now they've approved for Mama Duck to. That's a strategy to be able to. She probably gonna try to sue for millions and millions of dollars. That's gonna really knock him off of balance. So he's gonna be dealing with that. If he's convicted, he's going to file I'm sure he's gonna file what's the word that I'm looking for? He's gonna file an appeal. But I believe it's gonna be a strategy of California and Illinois, that once he's convicted in Illinois, I mean in California, and Illinois probably gonna hit him. Okay. Illinois is probably going to hit him with some charges. And then you got Mama Duck that they've approved to be able to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit on him. So that's definitely a strategy of the government to drain the swamp. And draining the swamp is making sure that they get all your money, you know. And which, you know, we be some of these men, you get the opportunity to be in the 1%, and this is what you do. Hey, Ebony. Yes, that civil trial is going to cripple him. It is. It's going to cripple him. I think this is going to turn into another Thug situation. But instead of getting out like Thug, he's definitely about to do time, plus the Mama Duck situation. And so here's the thing that people are overlooking. They've approved for Mama Duck, a civil court has approved for Mama Duck to be able to sue Durk, because she's saying that Durk Durk is responsible for Duck's death in some type of way. So even though you have dudes, have those guys gone to trial that killed Duck? Even though you've had them to go to trial, they might be telling on Durk too. They might, they got all, some of them got all those years or whatever. Okay. So they might be telling too, well, you know, Durk was involved too. So just because a person has not been charged yet, don't mean with something, and you got people that have been convicted, it don't mean that they won't be. A civil court, based on whatever proof or evidence that Mama Duck has approved for her to be able to file a lawsuit against Durk, holding him responsible for Duck's death. Okay, so don't let that go over your head. Even it's a civil suit right now. Says FBG been telling before he came up. So FBG been telling before this came up, so they definitely gonna run their mouth. I don't believe the FBG guys, and they might have, but I don't believe that the FBG guys was close enough to Durk to be able to know all of the dirt that Durk was doing. Do you all? Y'all don't believe it's somebody that's in his camp? Durk can't take care of these dudes no more. Says Mama Duck suing LilDurk, OTF, and Interscope. Interscope is going to throw Durk up under the. He ain't gonna be able to get. They're gonna totally cut ties with him. He ain't gonna be able to get nothing. See, this is where draining the swamp is going to start at. He says they've been found guilty. The feds are delaying their sentencing because they're working with the. Oh, so that's what's going on. So the feds are delaying sentencing the guys. Okay. He said he commented about who is testifying. Yeah, because I mean, some of those dudes had to have what? Didn't they have to have public defenders and stuff? So Mama Duck was always paying close attention to that. She says, I remember when she used to go live. She says, I'm paying close attention to who is going to be paying for these federal lawyers. She knew that Vaughn was dead, okay, and that was an astute thing to do. She knew that Vaughn was dead, so who's going to be paying for these federal lawyers? Okay, and I do believe that they said Durk did pay for one of the guys as lawyers, right? Just like, you know, it has come out that Yo Gotti was paying for lawyers. So after a while, Durk ain't gonna be able to receive nothing from Interscope. And I'm sure whatever his deals are, he got to pay them back for whatever money they advanced him. So after a while, they're gonna start seizing shit to recoup their money. It's sad that these black men did this to themselves, and I think we need to normalize saying, that, instead of saying, well, the Fed's trying to take down a black man, they get it. They get it. The Fed's the key. They pick out their own jail cell and give the Feds the key to lock them up. So I think we got to start holding these folks responsible for the bad decisions that they make. Says $40 million from Alamo Records. He owes that back with interest. Wow. Well, I mean, that's probably been gone. Look, they said this is an old video of Quando and LilDurk.
Brother. What you on, gang? Where you at? I'm in A. I'm shooting this video with Future. Man, I'll be back there tomorrow, bet, bro, man. We gotta go to the yo. I leave. I gotta go to New York tomorrow. I can't hear you. I leave. I gotta go to New York tomorrow. Oh, it's up. Look, though, I'm about to call. I'm gonna call you in a minute, bet, bro. I love you. Can't hear me. I love you too, bet, brother.
Okay, they're saying that's the old video of Durk and Quando. And I think it's sad because Quando ended up losing a lot too. And I think Quando had a nice little sound. I think he was talented. Some of his record. Hold on, y'all. Y'all, hold on. I'm gonna turn my heater up.
Real life hit me last night.
What you mean?
Life hit me last night.
In what way?
Boy, I laid down on the bed and noticed, damn, I'm really all I got. I just noticed, man, I'm on my own, for real, for real. If I could bring anybody back, it'd be me from all the situations I did some dumb shit in. And I could have came back to me right here, that's what I would have did.
That's hard.
Because I ain't here to make nobody happy. If I make one person happy, 9 other people going to be mad. You got to say yourself.
No, that's hard right now.
It was like, damn, the people I thought that loved me, that say they love me, the people who I thought was for me, everybody really just said, fuck me. And once I seen that, I had to look in the mirror myself. And I had to tell myself, like, damn, like, only one can change this shit is you. So
I've never heard a LilDurk song, but everything surround that kid is darkness. Everything. So I'm sitting back looking from a spiritual standpoint of a man who grew up with people who murdered. I grew up with them. I slept with them. I played with them. We cried together. We fought one another. So I'm telling you, murderers don't act how y'all act. It's some shit to killing, nigga. You're gonna go through some psychological effects. Spiritually, something gonna happen to you. And that's all I'm saying. And he's the agent that's being used by the dark forces to dangle him out with the King Von chain, the hats, and all the imagery. All the imagery. He who controls images controls minds. So LilDurk image is a negative image of darkness. And I stand by that.
You said that you and King Von never had any issues. In fact, the last conversation was a good conversation.
The only thing I got to say about that whole little situation, but sometimes it's time to close that door on certain situations. I just want everybody to move on and close that door, so whatever behind that door, let it get dealt with behind that door. Bro, I'm trying to get somewhere. I ain't none of these young dumb niggas no more. Bro, I don't care what nobody think no more. If you slap me in front of everybody, I'm not about to come kill you, bro. Not because once I kill you and you die and I go to prison and 15 years pass and I'm in a damn cage, everybody who said I went out bad for getting slapped and didn't do nothing is gonna eventually grow up, get older and say he went out bad for killing him for about a slap.
He telling the damn truth. Good morning. And that's what people need to understand. A lot of times people will try and send you out because they want to see you go out. They jealous. They secretly jealous of. They want to see you go out. Okay, bad. So I hope Quando is able to. I hope Quando is able to get himself back on track. Mhm. Hold on, you I told y'all it was Dirk that was passing that money around. Listen to Butter. Stop.
King Von 100K was real.
Man, Dirk, 100K, yeah. Von, no, all that shit happened. Von as he sacrificed. Bro, for real. Duck said in 63 bars, he say,
You a sacrifice. He sent you to get bodies. Basically, he just signed you over to the Illuminati.
that's up. Cause Duck gone right now. And them words mean so much. Because Von really did, bam. Y'all did that to y'allself. And LilDurk helped. You talking about, cause all them niggas was with LilDurk. They flew in, everybody keeps saying Shorty and them got snatched out of Parkway. Shorty and them got snatched out of Parkway. No, the they didn't. Shorty and them got snatched out the airport. Getting off LilDurk jet, gang. RICO consists of money laundering and racketeering and et cetera, right? Who got the most money?
Do you think
FBG Butter telling the truth? Okay. People.
He did the Exposing Me remix. And, you know, one thing he said was that, like, you know, when he did this song, you know, like, it was like a lot of different people were coming at him. You know, people, they weren't even maybe his ops.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe just like family members of the dudes that he dissed.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, just a lot of dead people in the video.
Because you got to understand, man, that shit creates so much, like, so many enemies. It's not just your enemies no more. Now you got them people, families want to get involved because you saying this. Now you just create new ops, new enemies. You know what I'm saying? And then that shit kind of block your blessings. For real, like you can't, like I'd have had 3-4 shows got shut down just because of Exposing Me shit, just because of that song, and they feel like shit could happen just because of that. You know what I'm saying? And that shit blocking blessings, bro. Like money.
You know, do you feel like, you know, you're going to get like a lot of added extra pressure, or, you know what I'm saying, people coming at you with making these types of songs?
Of course. Yeah, I feel like that.
Okay. And then, you know, are you worried about anything, or?
Nah, cause if it's somebody that matter, like, you know what I'm saying, like I know a lot of people. So if somebody look up and be like, damn, Cash, you said my nephew name too. Ooh. Then you wasn't saying nothing when your nephew was saying my people name. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was still listening to the shit. So like, damn, you hear it one time, and that like you gonna be like, shit, you basically being a hypocrite. So like at least to me, my peers, that's you know what I'm saying, old as me or older than me, they feel some type of way. Damn, Cash, why you say that? Woo-woo. You know how many times you done said my people name? Like, so it is what it is.
You feel like it's just fair game that
Yeah, it's definitely
you
fair.
know.
It's fair game. It's definitely fair game. That's a good way to say it. It's fair game. But just be mindful of what you're doing. Not me, you know what I'm saying? Not my homies, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking to nobody indirectly, you know what I'm saying? It's just anybody who trying to do that shit, just be mindful of what you're doing. Don't do it because you see me doing it. You see it's real blood on this shit, you know what I'm saying? So like motherfucking back to the sport. If y'all want to cross it over and talk about dead guys, we know how to talk about dead guys too. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel about, you know, this and the dead, man? Is that something that you can see yourself stopping to do in the future, or
Like
you know, where are you at with it?
it ain't even really like, to be honest, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't do that shit. I feel like it's distasteful for, but I just feel like I got away with words and made that shit sound good. So like, yeah, motherfucking yeah. I thought about it, but shit, I ain't making no apologies and shit. I feel like when y'all was doing it, like, damn man, it's getting watered down. Like shit, you gonna keep saying the same thing? All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and mix your whole little batch up in one rap and see how you like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they like that shit. So if I like this is dead, people like, yeah, nah, I'm telling you right off the bat, I think that shit is tasteful. I don't like that shit. But hey, shit, you do it, you aimed at them, you aimed at me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm one to speak on it right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm coming.
You feel like you're just defending
Yeah.
you and your homies in your block?
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people look at it like that, but like shit. As far as the music right now in the summertime coming up, man, like shit, like niggas putting out weak ass music. You know what I'm saying? If you want to call it defending it, you can call it like that. I'm calling it just shit. We just heating up, shit. We heating up. Y'all want to keep being on this topic, shit. We'll be on this topic, but I believe, you know what I'm saying, we'll be the one to trend off the shit before them though. But like, don't expect it to not fat back up if niggas is still word playing, talking crazy.
So things heat up, cool off, heat up, cool off. It's kind of what it seems like to me.
No, it's always been heated up. You know what I'm saying? Shit, like I don't think it's no heat up and cool off, Joe. What you think? Ain't no heat up and cool. That shit been on. There's a lot of the players like down there dying off or going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like a lot of these people for start coming home in the summertime and the following months, and like that's how shit work. That's the only time it cool off. Motherfuckers get locked up or die for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like police ain't making it motherfucker cool off. And shit still fucked up. It's still hot. Ain't no cool off and on.
Well, LilDurk came out and said he's not dissing the dead anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's something he's serious about?
I don't know. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him.
You should call him right now.
No, I ain't gonna call him right now. He probably, you know how he be.
You know, now that you're older, you know what I'm saying, and you're making.
Okay, shout out to Cash and rest in peace to Cash. You know, I really hate that happened, and so people gonna have to pay their retribution. Okay. Lord Jesus, these folks, I tell you, I'm reading something somebody's sending me. Quit into it with Moochie Grape. Somebody sent me that. Quit needs to sit down, leave these kids alone. Moochie Grape and them way younger than him, and the way he going off, it ain't. Quit need to stop and leave these damn kids alone. Chad said Dirk had enough to pay ex Delta forces to what, but here's the thing about that. Dirk didn't have no right to to um to do what he did to him, you know. And then Dirk was quite brazen. You know, he was very brazen with what he did. You know, as far as like getting on the internet and doing what he did, it's just messed up. So I tell you. Hey, Miss Anissa. So, to go back to what I was talking about, federal prosecute LilDurk, if they got what they say they got, I would believe that, you know, they working to make sure that Dirk does quite a bit of time. With a good lawyer, he may not get what he deserves, and that's life, because he's been the cause of many lives being taken. So if you ask me, that would be sufficient for him. But with a good lawyer, he may not get life. Okay, he may not get a life sentence, or you never know. You know, they bribe the jury, or you might have some jurors that are some fans. They may not even convict him. Okay, but if he get in there and get an attorney to do Academy Award winning type situation, but you have to understand, Dirk is not dealing with the state. These are the feds that is on top of his head. I'm sure that Mama Doug was able to get a judge to approve for her lawsuit, because she's got the people working with her, got law enforcement working with her. She was able to present sufficient evidence that Dirk is responsible for what has happened to Duck. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if after that civil suit, because it's already been some people convicted. There are people in jail right now for crimes that other people helped them with. Okay, and they later told, and those people went to trial too. Okay, and was convicted. So I feel like that he had something to do with what happened as far as the payments, what happened to Duck. Definitely Cash. I've always waited and wondered with Dirk and them, because they flat out said that they did it. Okay. I've always waited to see how that was going to turn out, you know, as it relates to Cash, because I always felt like definitely he was involved. They put everything on Dirk. Okay. I mean on Von, in his death. Okay. Hold on, you all. Okay, guys. Anyways, they said Dirk. Okay. Y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm getting so many messages and stuff. I was trying to find some more stuff on FBG Butter, kind of. Hold on. Cypress said free sugar.
Real good ass lawyers. How the fuck you think they paying for a private jet, gang?
Well, right
Vaughn
after
did. Vaughn did.
Vaughn had what?
Vaughn is dead, right?
Okay, well,
how the fuck is these niggas paying for a jet?
At the time, yeah.
Who the fuck got a jet fueled up and got these boys flew to Chicago in 5 hours? Who got money to do that? They ain't got no jet money, gang. Come on, bro. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar. Them niggas.
We had DJU interview about 2 weeks ago, and he said a lot of niggas in the O was trying to do, or right now are doing shit to prove themselves to Durk.
That's the new generation, gang.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like, I got some fucking young wild bulls that I always talk about. Like, but nigga, I don't televise they stupid shit.
There you go.
I don't, nigga, and even I call one on right now, my dead grandma, he gonna be in that bitch switch Drake on him right now, my dead homie. Some shit, some tactical shit. My dead sister, he ain't number 16. Ain't he ready to wrap a motherfucker up, but guess what? When I call he, what's up, what we finna do? He know we finna go do something.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna do no dirt, bitch. We finna go have some fun. Get you off this shit.
Come on now.
That's
a lot of them don't even respect LilDurk as he is, man. A lot of them only started respecting the man because he had the money, man. LilDurk wasn't no nigga who was like, oh yeah, really in the streets, playing with them sticks and sliding, blitz and shit. He not a blitzer, gang. He hung with the niggas that blitz. When he got the paper, then he started getting the power and he started getting respect because my respected that bag. So the moment like niggas got to get wrapped up for certain shit, they don't really get no fuck about him, nigga. You just got some money, man. You never was nobody to us. We ain't really get no fuck about you, dude.
Okay, so FBG Butter telling it. They never really respected they never respected Durk. They just respected his hand, which had the money in it, that had the bag in it. And so that's why he got people that are they ain't got to worry about no retaliation from Von. Durk has done so much dirt in the street. I mean, they were never respecting him, so they ain't really got to worry about no retaliation from nobody. Durk has lost a lot of the people that was really seemed to would slide for him. Okay, so yeah, he got some problems. He got some problems.
BG Butter says King Von was sacrificed by LilDurk.
Didn't C-Day just come out saying that Rondo was going? What?
Rondo, y'all gotta think like this, man. For a long time, it's been swept out of the rug, but see, they been telling off that Rondo was throwing them under the bus. Rondo was trying to get back. But you know what I'm saying? And then when the paperwork dropped, LilDurk was like, oh man, they says the paperwork just dropped in the rack. Ooh. But then he tried to slight post my shit, but he want to talk about his homie shit because Rondo shit got posted 2 days before. Y'all got to pay attention to what was going on.
Damn. Didn't C-Day just come out saying that Rondo was going? What?
Rondo, y'all got to think like this, man. For a long time, it's been swept out of the rug, but see, they been telling off that Rondo was throwing them under the bus. Rondo was trying to get back. But you know what I'm saying? And then when the paperwork dropped, LilDurk was like, oh man, since the paperwork just dropped in the rack. Ooh. But then he tried to slight post my shit, but he want to talk about his homie shit.
Basically half a day. Chicken tenders, macaroni, collard green, red sauce, cornbread. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Peace and love.
The reason why Lil Baby would never mess with young boys.
And I ain't into like two rappers beefing. Like, don't mix me with. Why? If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. For real. If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. Other than that, I don't mix me with that. I seen the outcomes of that. Like, I ain't with that. Hell no.
I don't even know why I'm talking about him now, cause he like hate me. So like he make up a lot of stories about me. Cause we had like a little one small situation. So after I had got a DM about him telling me to cash out him some bread, I treated his ass and he just went like on the whole rant. I think it started off the rise and fall of the Clout Boys. That's actually what started his channel.
When you found out, so this is someone that you knew, you guys lived together at one point. Now you see him on the stand in the old Block 6 trial. Did that surprise you?
Yeah and no. I actually ain't seen him on the stand, but I was hearing his name come up. Yeah, it surprised me. For sure it did.
Well, and then once he took the stand, you start hearing about the fact that he was an FBI informant at one point, and it goes back.
Time. Long time.
For a
How
long
long
time.
it was?
It was a while. I mean, potentially 10 years?
It's crazy.
So did you know him at the time
While
he was
snitching?
an informant?
Yes, sir. That's how he was asking questions in that bitch.
KI.
I saw Big A. You feel me? Big A ass dead now. Did you see that video? Man, they say he died with the gun to cop with. What's the odds of that? I fucked up.
And you, because you were there when KI was, right?
Yeah.
So he's saying that he saw somebody else shoot KI, but Von took the credit for it, or he was charged actually with killing KI, right?
Hit knee shot. Got an artificial kneecap, man. To my ACL, I got a rod in my leg and my knee.
You said that it wasn't King Von.
It wasn't Von, man. It wasn't Von, bro. But you know how that shit go. Big A got no. So he took in the credit for his dead homie work. That's how I look at it. For real, Sean. And then you know a lot of niggas be out here chasing this shit.
That sounds about true because he got shot and he was there. So it seemed like to me, Butter is saying that, you know, the boy's dead, so they made it retaliated on the young man that actually killed KI, and Von took the credit for it. So, which is sick, you know, using killing as a sport. I would believe what Butter said because he was actually there and was shot. So he know who he saw. Hold on one second. Okay. So it says police released documents confirming King Von murdered Jakira Barnes. Okay, so when you say, I don't like it when you call me Cap. Okay, you could say, you know, that ain't true because I feel like you be on something else, Big G. But don't come in here doing that because I know you rock with another vlog and that's cool. But don't come in here doing that because I feel like you're trying to push his energy. Okay, and I don't want to believe, you know, I just his energy pretty bad. Okay, which is why, you know, I just don't do that. So I just read to you why I said that. Big G, I just read to you why I said that because that's what is out there. Years out, he was even after he was dead. Okay, That could be your city, but that's what's out. That's what's out. Okay. Hold on. King Von named by police as 17-year-old Jakira Barnes killer. Okay. And I'm glad that you are your own man. Okay. But I'm just letting you know that that's what's out there. Okay. That's what's out there. So I'm just letting you know that, okay? That's what's out there. Anyways, let's keep going. And I don't mind you coming up in here, but I just don't want nobody coming up in here on the same energy that vlogger is on, you know, thinking they can go with him. Because see, he get ready to get a report put on him. Okay, so I just don't want you to come in here with that same energy. Because see, I'm going to get him up off of me because he's obsessed. So as soon as this ice melt, he's getting a report put on him. So I just don't want you coming up in here with the same energy. And then he going to have a lawsuit on him because you ain't going to defame my fucking character with your fucking lies. Okay? If you don't believe me, you just watch and see. February going to be a festive month.
I'm sorry for your loss, man. I like Duck. You know, I mean, I've always said it. I didn't get to hang out with him like that, but I did interview him twice, and he seemed like a good dude.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man.
But Duck one out too. Duck one a motherfucker that you put 250K on. Sorry. Or 100K. Duck, he won the killer game. Who putting that much money on a motherfucker who ain't never killed nobody, gang? It wasn't. But in real life, though, let me drop these jewels. It wasn't about the killing. It wasn't about the street shit with Duck. Duck was a fucking threat, gang, with the music. For real, for real. Now, listen to this, though. Duck finna get ready to get signed with Rap a Lot, right? Jay Press coming to get ready to sign Duck.
Okay.
He getting ready to take Duck out the Sony deal because he telling Duck, showing Duck, oh, man, this deal, they got you on a fucked up deal, shorty. I'm finna get you out this fucked up deal and give you a bigger bag. On Tooka grade. And they knew if that boy got that money, a lot of shit was gonna change. If that boy got that real key to the industry, he's gonna be a problem inside this industry for us. We gonna be forced, shorty. We gonna be forced to hit this nigga. We gonna be forced.
I told y'all.
And then what a lot of motherfuckers don't talk about, like the little nigga Lil D and all the other motherfuckers from O Block, they peoples who testified against them that they don't even, you know what I'm saying? Of course they gonna say butter, but motherfuckers ain't talking about how they people, the motherfuckers who they locking the gates for David or opening the gates, whatever they doing for King David upstairs, right? Them is the motherfuckers who came and got out on them boys for real. Them is the motherfuckers who gave them boys text messages, group chats. They people. Not my side. My side can't. How the fuck we gonna get our hands on these type of information? Right? Everybody arrest video coming out from when they got arrested for this Duck case.
Yeah.
They ain't show Moowop yet. Or C-Murder, sorry. Have y'all saw Moowop or C-Murder go to jail on camera yet? Because everybody else involved in that case, arrest footage is on camera. No bullshit. Y'all ain't seen Moowop and C-Murders, have y'all? Y'all wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because they got locked up with the fucking informant himself. On Tooka, shorty. They got locked up with the FBI biggest informant, gang. Think about it. They got snatched off a private jet. Dude,
Them niggas ain't even had no real good ass lawyers. How the fuck you think they paying for a private jet, gang?
Well, right after
Von did.
Von had what?
Von is dead, right?
Okay. Well,
how the fuck is these niggas paying for a jet?
At the time, yeah.
Who the fuck got a jet fueled up and got these boys flew to Chicago in 5 hours? Who got money to do that? They ain't got no jet money, gang.
I don't got jet money.
Come on, bro. Them boys got snatched at the airport on a private hangar. Come on, bro. Stop playing. Think about it. They called Durk, hey, you get them fucking guys here, we're gonna come get you with them. Cause just like the evidence they had on Shorty, and they had on Durk too, that you just paid to get your fucking brother killed. How you not in jail? We ain't talking about this shit. This shit just ain't happening in our face, huh? Guess what, bitch? Bugs Bunny back again. The rapper got the gun, and I know what I'm doing with this bitch, bro. Y'all quit. Now, seriously, though. This is a real fact, though. Really think about this. Who the fuck you know name get brought up and with actually proven facts that you done paid me some money to go kill a motherfucker. And I done killed the wrong motherfucker, too. You didn't pay me to kill. I done killed the wrong motherfucker for me to turn around and go kill a right motherfucker, though. But you... The police know I work for you. Cause they say Shorty flat out told they ass like, man, shit, LilDurk told me to do that shit. And he paid me to do it. Right? Showing receipts. Like, this nigga gave me real money to get this man gone.
Okay, you cool.
A lot of money. Right? Why is this man not in jail, gang?
Big G, that's cool. It's all good.
This shit just happened, what? 3 months ago? When Shorty said that shit?
Ain't mad. It's all good.
He just won a motherfucking a Grammy, motherfucker, a week or 2 weeks ago. I don't know, man. Sound like some backdoor Illuminati shit to me. I'm saying, and motherfuckers think that the Illuminati not real. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Now, seriously though, on some real shit though. How did this happen? When Yo Gotti name was allegedly brought up for murder for hire, they went and grabbed Yo Gotti right away. No bullshit. They went and got Yo Gotti the same fucking day. Yo Gotti mugshot was posted all over the internet. Murder for hire, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. LilDurk name. The paperwork dropped with Shorty No for Face World on this bitch. It's six little niggas from Face World or somewhere else, all them telling about this, that, and the third. And the big dog name just keep coming up, but he ain't in jail. They came and got me, gang, for some petty shit. Because my name got brought up 52 shootings and all this other goofy ass shit, right? And they came and got me.
Well, listen, I don't know about whatever Durk's involvement is,
that,
whatever, but when you have a lot of money, you have a lot of great lawyers, and your lawyers do their job.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Broski.
And I don't know nothing about.
Oh my God, Lord. I don't get no fucking... Bro, Bill Cosby is in jail, bro.
He's out.
Well, he went to jail.
He went to jail. He got out, though.
R. Kelly in jail.
Right.
Lil Wayne went to jail, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Kodak Black's in jail.
Okay, that's cool, Big G. But what I want to show you this, because I mean it had been out. Y'all stop. So it says the newly shared documents. Be quiet, Remy. Shows that witnesses reportedly named King Von, a reported member of the Black Disciples, as the alleged shooter who was responsible for Barnes' death. An unknown MI wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans approached the victims. The unknown offenders then produced a handgun and began firing in the direction of the victims, striking all three. The unknown offender then was observed entering an unknown vehicle, making good his escape, the document showed. The police also stated that the investigation revealed that the victim was killed by Davon Bennett using King Von's government name. The rapper was said to have been positively identified as the offender. However, there wasn't enough evidence to tie Von to the slaying, so charges against him weren't filed. Okay. And we know that he wasn't, and I'm not trying to say you don't know what's going on in your city and stuff. I'll never say that. But what I'm saying is that is what was out there even after King Von was killed, that people had started coming forward. And at some point, it's out there that the police held him responsible. I appreciate that. Well, thank you. So, because you have to understand, like, when, hey, and I don't have no issues, and I want to say this, I definitely don't have any issues, like, with, because I know certain people want to make folks think that I put out bad information or whatever. I mean, that's the name of the game for not everybody, maybe like a person or two. But if I said I see, this is what I saw, this is what I saw, this is what has been out there. And so when a person come in and say cap, what I mean, it automatically, the first thing my guard go up, like, what you talking about? This is what is out there. And there's stuff that's out there that's not true, but this has been out there for a while, so it's all good. No, I ain't got no issues with you. No, he's commenting on the other page because he says that he is in timeout on the other page. So he came in and started talking to me on the second page. So once he comes out of timeout, he good. And so what you have to understand, like, my moderators know, like, people, and not people, for the most part, everybody on YouTube, even vloggers that I may not, particularly care for, they don't attack me. Okay, it's only like one or two. And so you have to understand, like, because of the consistent pattern of it, when somebody comes in, my moderators are very protective. Like, my guard go up and theirs go up too. Okay, but I appreciate you, clarifying that. And so we good. Okay, we good. So with FBG Butter, though, Butter had point. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. He said, I don't attack women either. Don't put me in that mess. That's cool. That's cool. Like I said, yeah, it's all love. That's cool.
One of the motherfuckers that you put 250K on or 100K. He wanted to kill a gang. Who putting that much money on a motherfucker who ain't never killed nobody, gang? It wasn't about the killing. It wasn't about the street shit. Duck is a fucking threat, gang, with the music. For real, for real. Duck finna get ready to get signed with Rap a Lot, right? Jay Prince coming to get ready to sign Duck. He getting ready to take Duck out the Sony deal because he telling Duck, showing Duck, oh man, this deal, they got you on a fucked up deal, shorty. I'm finna get you out this fucked up deal and give you a bigger bag. They knew if that boy got that money, a lot of shit was gonna change. If that boy got that real key to the industry, he gonna be a problem inside this industry for us. We gonna be forced to hit this nigga.
That's exactly what it was. I said that earlier. I felt like Duck was taken out because they knew that he was versatile with his rapping. It would be easy for him to cross over. They had been dissing at each other forever, but now all of a sudden, when Duck started getting traction and stuff, he get ready to go up. They say Duck had more heart. You know what I'm saying? Like they hurry up and got him knocked down, and then like a couple months after that, King Von unfortunately lost his life. So hey, a lot of people might say that it was karma, but I do know this. Karma never misses a step. Karma never misses a step. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. But we good, Big G. It's all love. It's all good. Y'all hit the like button for me. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, I would appreciate that. I don't know. It's something about like when they started talking about that FBG Duck case and that FBG Cash case. I knew like they was trying to they blamed everything on King Von paying for everything, but you listen to Butter lets you know that Dirk was the one with the money. We see the way things going when they approved for Duck's mom to be able to file this lawsuit. And I've always said from the beginning that this case, Duck's case, definitely had a lot of similarities with Young Dolph's case, and I believe that the outcome is still going to be the same. People need to keep in their minds now that Orange Mound Quet, Cornelia Smith, and Straight Drop are the low-hanging fruits. And people need to keep that in mind, because a lot of times, when that's how it has always been. The people at the top always try to push the pressure down. That's right, Big G. Dirk is another Gotti. People try to push the pressure down on the low-hanging fruit, right? And we saw that that's what happened. Okay, and even though I believe that Quet was involved, I believe that some of those charges that they gave Quet, even though his part could, I guess, be looked at as the mastermind, but why would they want to put him on trial as being the mastermind without having Jook and Gotti on trial? Like that don't even go together. You talking about all this money that they put up on top of these dudes' heads. You have to understand, like, how would Quet have the means and the way to put this money and stuff up? How would Quet have the means and the way to offer Straight Drop a deal? I mean, they didn't do that right. I think if they was going to charge Quet, especially if they knew they was trying to get Jook and Gotti, they should have waited. You know what I mean? And even still, I think they overcharged him, giving him the mastermind charge. You know what I'm like? I don't think that. How are you gonna make it seem like it looked like to the jury? Okay, they're already talking about Yo Gotti and Big Jook and some these people having the money. Where they at? Why he's sitting on trial? And they ain't said ain't. And Manny was able to really handicap him, ask him, well, where they at? Why is he charged with the mastermind? And we already know that Yo Gotti and Jook, really Yo Gotti, okay, was the master, because he was Yo Gotti, whoever these other folks were. And you still got an ongoing investigation going on. Hey, if you ask me, for the part that Quet played, I believe 10 years is sufficient. Was sufficient for him. 10, 15 years was sufficient for the part that he played. But I believe that it didn't work out the way that it was supposed to, because it still forces, because I don't know if they would have got lackadaisical, okay, and just being okay with Quet going down for being the mastermind if they couldn't get who it was that they really wanted to get, okay? Because you heard Quet say that they told him from the start that they wanted Yo Gotti and Juke. Now, Cornelius and Straight Drop started telling on Quet because they had a somebody in an entity in the middle that got them real angry at Quet. Okay, somebody was playing two ends against the middle, and so they had such an anger for Quet because somebody that wanted them to turn on Quet and focus solely on Quet so he could go down only as the mastermind, okay, had turned them against him, okay. Whether it was well deserved or not, there was a force on the outside that had them mad. I think Quet think it was Teasy alone, and it probably wasn't. Okay. It probably wasn't. Because remember, Cornelius said that Straight Drop told him that he was told that Quet and Juke wasn't really messing with them. Okay. I agree. But that is absolutely right. Von is the big Juke in this situation. In this LilDurk situation, Von is the big Juke. Absolutely right. I agree 100%. Von is the big Juke. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. Let me see how many likes we got. Y'all, we snowed in, child. And it just hold on, y'all. Let me see how many likes we got. Yeah, how many likes do we have? Oh yeah, excuse me. I know a lot of people might want to try to say thank you for hitting it on both pages. I think a lot of people might want to say that Butter is a snitch, but at the same time, I think Butter just decided he don't have any loyalty to Durk and them. He want to see him go down. So I think at this point he just decided he gonna tell whatever it is. Y'all hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button. Whatever it is that they got going on, whatever it is they did, he's gonna tell it. But I think some of the people around Durk is telling on him now. After a while, if Interscope cut him off, they start wanting to try to recoup their monies. Now who would Durk be receiving residuals off of? Is people still playing Durk's music? Like, is his music still real popular? Because Durk has been in jail for quite a while now, and he's kind of been out of sight, out of mind. But I guess he still got hits and stuff, right? People still streaming his music and stuff right now. So I guess he will be receiving money from that. But the majority of their money come in from getting advances, though, right? Like when they get advances from like Interscope and places like that, and then they get artists and they pay that money back with interest. I don't know. India says India is a boss too, so But you haven't really been seeing India do anything. Like she used to have like a lip gloss line. He's on the other channel. I think everybody's stuff is coming up on the screen though. If you look at the screen, people from both channels, their stuff is coming up on the screen. Von's music and his so because you for some reason you don't see Von's music in rotation a whole lot. And Von got some really good music. Von really has good music, but you don't it's not something that you see. Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't care for Durk. He is a BD and I'm a so let me ask you something, Big G. Why do you all think that that Duck was killed? Do you believe that Duck was killed? Do you all believe that Duck was killed because of what Butter said? Why do you all think that Duck and Cash was killed? Just in your opinion, why do you think that they killed them? Because I know that Duck and Cash were GDs. So you think they just killed Duck strictly because he was a GD and Cash? So I guess a BD is a black disciple and a GD is a gangster disciple. Okay, he said Durk is BD, so we don't get along. I think Von was a BD too. Like I said, Durk was one of the ones that was able to get in, be the 1%, you know, as far as being able to tap into whatever he had to do to try and get some wealth. And unfortunately, this is what we see because Yo Gotti ultimately has the same fate. Like I said, the only difference is he did not get as careless as Durk. He kind of cut his off because they wanted to get careless right after Young Dolph died. Trust me now, he wanted to be careless. But once he saw that it wasn't a game, he kind of retreated. Because remember, Yo Gotti was all into it. Yeah, post it again. He said there are 9 OTF affiliates who are testifying against Durk, including the shooter of Lil Pab. Oh, wow. The OTF accountant Vonnie, OTF Jam, Brown Eyes, and those who shot at Quando. The OTF 6 are as well. That's everybody. So everybody that was in their little clique has turned on Durk. Durk don't stand a chance. He got his accountant that's turned on him. Vonnie, OTF Jam, the shooter that killed Lil Pab. And that's Quando Rondo's friend, right? That was in the car in California. And those who shot at Quando. So everybody has turned on him. Big G said Durk gonna have it real hard in prison because BDs only exist in Chicago, GDs worldwide. Yeah. Well, don't be surprised if he don't, because aren't BDs gangster disciples that branched off? Is that the history of them? That's so. Steven said everybody's screaming gang, gang, gang. I'm telling you, he's when them folks come and get you, they tell on the whole gang. You know, when people get all those years, they tend to revert back to especially, and he'll use the excuse, I decided to convert back to gangster disciple because all of the BDs that was supposed to be my brotherhood turned on me and snitched on me. It was a disgrace, so I don't want to be no BD no more, so he can survive in those prisons. Don't be surprised if that happens. He said that's why you do your dirt by your lonely. It seemed like to me Dirk was just careless, like jealousy. Um, he was just careless because there wasn't no need. Why was he putting a hit on all these people? You know, basically because they was, you know, he said they dissed his brother. They dissed the dead homies. You a millionaire now, dude. Why would you put yourself in a real bad position and the folks were just sitting back waiting. They was just sitting back waiting. Yes, indeed. I wish I could drop the link. I wish it was, you know, not somebody sitting in the background waiting for me to drop the link so they could mess with the link so people could come up. Because, like I said, I've always had such an interest in this FBG Duck and FBG Cash case. I promise you, I always have. Same people feel like there are some things that you can't just let go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's sometimes it's hard to let things go. But you know, you have to think about though, is it worth your livelihood? They was already at Dirk. What could Dirk have been? All the killings that was going on around Dirk. Did he really think that the folks was not watching him? Did he really believe that? Um Jay said it's not worth your livelihood, but people believe that it's not what you do, but how you do it. Well, there are consequences. So if a person feels that um that death, going to kill somebody, they have to preserve whatever they would call it, respect or whatever. If they feel like it's worth somebody saying something they don't like, okay. Um, you know, as much as I love my dad and my grandmother, and I had a lot of relatives to go on to the, you know, transition. I ain't get ready to kill nobody because they say your daddy. I let the laws of the earth, you know, handle that. I'll give an instance. Onan and his people, his group of slaves that he had behind him came into my um Facebook inbox shortly after my dad passed away and said, that's why your daddy dead, bitch. Go dig your dead ass daddy up. Okay. I mean, I despise him with a passion, but you know, um, I was not getting ready to go kill him or them. But what I did was I just kind of sat back and let the laws of the earth, because it applies to everybody. That's why I say Yo Gotti does not. I don't know why people think Yo Gotti would be omitted from the laws of the earth, not unless they think he's a god. So I just kind of sat back and let the laws of the earth handle that. Okay. Stephen says youth is wasted on the young. Dirk didn't have proper guidance around him. He had too many folks who thought like him instead of being more mature and telling him to do better. Absolutely. And here's another thing, and I think this is one of the issues that Finesse 2 Times had too. Some people don't want, they want to be the smartest and the highest person in the room. And when I say that, they don't want for anybody to be up above them. Like they want it to stop with them. That's the worst thing that it could be. They want everybody to look up to them. I'm the one with the most money. I'm the one that everybody look up to. I'm the one that makes that final call because I got the money. Okay. I think that's the worst thing that some of these guys can do when they already are not balanced out. When they get a hold to this money coming out of the hood. Okay. I think, if you listen to some of the people that was around Finesse 2 Times, they say that's how he was. He wanted everybody to bow down to him. He felt like being loyal to me is doing what I say do, whether it's right or wrong, because I'm the one that's providing you with the money. That's true. That's right, Ken. If you don't have the right types of people to guide you, it's because you have a lot of mothers that do the very best that they can, but kids are a product of their environment. Mama is at work during the day. Kids are at school, and kids are at school just as long in the day as they are when they're at home. So, the kids that are there around have just as much of an influence on them and the people in the hood than as their mother, sometimes more. Dub JJ says, I hope he didn't think he was the smart. Well, he got his label up off of the ground. So a lot of people would equate that. Big G Simmons T, don't get me wrong. GD, but I'm not active. I'm not a gangbanger. I'm married and out the way. Never want my son to follow my footsteps. Right. Well, that's good. I think it's a good thing when you have men that have been in gangs and stuff, and then when they start, as they get older, they disassociate themselves from that, and they do everything that they can to guide their sons in another direction. Because most kids, especially most boys, they really want to emulate their father. They really admire their father, right? That's why when people say, you have men say, well, I teach my son tough love. Yeah, it's good to teach them, but it's good to love them too, and don't be too tough. Whereas, they just really fearful of their father, or they start to develop some type of disdain, because most boys just want to be accepted by their fathers. They really do. They love their dads. So that's why it's good for men to be balanced out with when they show a little tough love, and then when they show the love. Son, look, I love you though. Hey, I'm going fishing with my son. I'm playing around with my son, and it's not just all military type shit. Because like I said, a lot of boys want to be accepted by their fathers. And so, and if they feel like they're being rejected by their fathers, they're going to go in the hoods, okay, to those OGs in the hoods, and try to obtain some type of acceptance from them, which is not good most of the time. Steven says, what's wild is how Dirk used to rap about the feds monitoring him and still got locked up. Where they do that at? That's why I said I wonder if Dirk was on drugs, because it seemed like his brain had to be fried for him to be sitting up there when they killed somebody, he went live like right after it happened, like right after they gave him the green light that it happened. Yeah, I wonder if he was on something, because he sure was stupid. Hold on. Like I said, it's interesting. Oh, he take perks.
Oh, the YTB Fest song featuring LilDurk. It's called Conspiracy V2.
Yeah, man, we don't entertain op music.
Hey, but now look at the end of it. He say you talk too much, little brother, calm down.
You talk too much, little brother, calm down. They know who you killed. You talk too much, little brother, calm down. Feds know who you is.
I told you this. You was like, nah,
talk too much, little brother. Nah, I'm saying he was talking about you, right?
He said little butter.
Little butter.
I told you he said little butter.
Right, because at first I thought he said little brother.
Like, nah, he said little brother butter. You was like, he ain't say that brother butter.
Nah, he said butter.
I know he said butter.
So how you feel, getting that straight at the end of the verse?
I mean, he been clapping. This ain't the first song. This the third song he mentioned me in there? But when I just clapped at him with that, I come through, drop the LilDurk diss on Jaja. Shorty, these shit is strike through on Kyric. They take Distro Kid, United Masters, everything. Tell me defamation of character. How am I a defamation? He diss me? He dissed me in 3 songs, trying to call me, snitch, all type of shit. I need to start. I need to do that too now. I need to start sending this high power strike to motherfuckers too. Or that blackball. Or that policey. I mean, motherfucker did it to me, so I could do it back right. He definitely is telling on his homies. I mean, if they calling me a rat, ain't Dirk a rat too? He did the same thing I did.
What you talking about, the Atlanta situation?
Huh?
You talking about the Atlanta situation with King Von?
Hell yeah. I mean, like, they say he blamed it on the dead, right? But it was 2 shooters. So how the fuck is both of them home? See, Bezu, somebody's supposed to be locked up. LilDurk, Bezu, somebody had to go to jail. It was 2 shooters. So y'all telling me these niggas ain't telling, Lord? They gotta be working, Lord. I ain't even gonna cap on Neil. I'm serious. I'm
But
How big you think it's gonna be when J-Man and LilDurk link up and shake hands?
I mean, we all gonna be there, so it's gonna be dope as hell. It's gonna be big.
So you think it's gonna be a group of you guys and a group of them, and y'all will meet up and shake hands?
I mean, yeah. All right. So what he said was he was gonna probably do like some type of big concert and surprise the fans with this. So, that I feel like that's gonna be dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's something that the fans it's something that the fans need. It's something that the city need. It's something that the world need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not picking up on the Whoop game. That make you a nigga untouchable.
All right. Well, there's been quite a bit of news about you since our last interview.
Yeah, man.
And one of the things that I seen that came across my timeline was that Durk released a new song. And in this new song, he makes a reference towards you. He says, Italian beef and Pepsi, I think them dudes are gonna butter something.
So you think you gonna butter something? I mean, I'm hot. I'm bro. Like, you got to think, I was the last this race. Nah, I'll be the first one to start in this race. Like, who else can Dirk come for right now? You know what I'm saying? He see Ruger them, J-Mane, and they pushing peace. You feel me? I'm pushing peace too, to a certain extent. You feel me? But I've been popping my bro. It's only right that he acknowledged me, bro, because slowly but for surely I am becoming the voice of Chicago. You know, my talk that he the voice, and I'm really becoming the voice of Chicago. Like, I'm Chicago, bro. Feel me? For sure. Think about it though, Cam. I really been popping my lately. You know what I'm saying? I have became a big person. I was doing something that I taught myself I like to do. I like to talk and swallow spit. You feel me? So now they paying attention. Like, okay, Shorty making some noise. You can't go through social media without seeing me. And a lot of people can't function what's really going on. You know, a lot of motherfuckers can't function like, why is Shorty relevant? How is Shorty relevant? You know, because I'm me. Bro, I do my, I talk my, I pop my. They gotta look for somebody for entertainment, like. But that was his way of silencing me, though, y'all. Y'all gotta really pay attention to what's going on. This right after he just win his big award, right? The first song he leaked, This and Me. You know what I'm saying? Because he felt like he just got this award. He know for a fact he just became a fan favorite, right? So if I'm telling y'all, I ain't with Shorty. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta pay attention.
Yeah. And if you look at it, he definitely telling the truth. He done paid to have basically all the other ones that he felt like would have been a threat killed. Now Butter doing all the interviews and stuff. Like he said, the first song he leaked is Dissing Butter. So that demon in him wanted to put a bag on Butter. He just knew he was being watched and he couldn't. See, if he was smart, what he could have been doing was, making songs. He was still the bigger star, dissing back at FBG Duck and Cash. But that same spirit he got on that God he got on him, he got on him. He was so threatened by the success of those dudes. He, as my grandmother used to say, he cut his nose off to spite his face. And what happens when you don't have a nose? You can't breathe. So you suffocate yourself. And that's exactly what he did to himself when he paid for them damn hits. So I tell you, Ken said most gangs were started to protect the hood from racist cops. And it just totally went left. It totally went left. I think now it could have been before then, but I remember like when the movies Colors came out, it definitely perpetuated gang violence. It perpetuated fighting and killing over colors more and all of that. And it was a big movie all everywhere, so I tell you. Y'all, we've been on here every day for hours. I appreciate that. I've been snowed in, child. So the only thing that I'm able to do is it gives me the opportunity to like do my schoolwork and go through my closets and pack up stuff that I either want to sell or I want to give away. My nerves bad. I don't have the nerves to be trying to sell nothing. I be saying I'm gonna sell this, I'm gonna sell that, and then what I do is I give it away. But I'm thinking about having I remember like I used to love to like have yard sales, like put my mama's. We used to put the address in the paper, and we would have yard sales out in my mother's garage, and people would come up. It ain't even safe to do that no more, child. So I'll probably just give everything away to the damn Goodwill. Anyways, guys. Yeah, I might get back on later. I'm getting ready to set up some stuff in my in my dining room area that I got from Temu. So that gives me the opportunity to put that stuff together. So that's what I'm getting ready to do, and wash some clothes, and then even though it's cold, I might go and walk around on the balcony for a little while. Just to, it ain't gonna be for a little while because it's cold as hell out there. Just to get a little bit of the sun that I see that's out. Why not give the homeless the good? Ooh, that's a good idea. To give it to the homeless, that would be a good idea. Um, do you all think that the homeless will wear polo belts, or do y'all think they would try to sell now? What y'all think? So I got 2 bags full of polo belts, and I said I was gonna sell their male belts, and I said I was gonna sell them for $10 a belt, and it's leather. They are a bag of them is all leather, and they're nice belts, and another bag of them is like they're not leather. He said polo. Look at Steven want the belts. I said I was gonna sell them for $10 a belt. But when do I have the time to do that? I'm gonna keep the bag. The bag is a nice leather bag. But I think I will. I'll look around like some of these shirts and stuff that I have, these male polo shirts. I could definitely give those to the homeless. That would be a good idea. That would be a blessing. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna get off here so I can do some things, and then I may get back on later. Y'all know, as the New Orleans, if I'm saying that right, the New Orleans people say, we just on here josing. We just josing. So I might get back on a little bit later to jose and have fun with you guys. Listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in and supporting the channel. I do love you all, each and everybody that come in with good intentions to support the channel. Hey, I appreciate that. Stevie. Oh Lord. Listen, I don't mean no harm, but I'm not gonna sell the belts to nobody from out of the Carolinas. Okay. Nobody out of the Carolinas. Listen, anyways, I love you all. Y'all be safe out there if y'all gotta be outside. Y'all fix y'all something warm. I'm getting ready to fix me some breakfast. I want me an egg sandwich. I got a taste for an egg sandwich. So that's what a toasted egg and avocado sandwich. That's what I'm getting ready to do. Listen, I love you all. I'll talk with you later.